Yo, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, back at you with a new video. Today is Tuesday, June 3rd, 2025, with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can, Cash App $, ORIONNWSF, or the YouTube Super Chat right here. We got the Baltimore Orioles versus the Seattle Mariners. First pitch is going to be here in roughly 5 minutes, so let's cue up the music, take a look at the thumb, and let's get into these starting lineups. Happy Tuesday, everyone. And on the thumb on the left is the shortstop stud Gunnar Henderson, and on the right, our brand new second baseman for years to come. You know who it is, Cole Young. And now let's get into the starting lineups here first for the visiting Baltimore Orioles. Leading off for the Orioles at second base, Jackson Holliday. Batting second, catching today for Baltimore, Adley Rushman. Batting third, playing shortstop, Gunnar Henderson. Batting cleanup, batting fourth, first baseman, Ryan O'Hearn. Batting fifth, playing third base, Ramon Urias. Batting sixth, playing center field, Colton Cowser. Batting seventh, DHing today for the Orioles, Kobe Mayo. Batting eighth, playing right field, Heston Kjerstad. And batting ninth, playing left field, Dylan Carlson. And on the mound for the Baltimore Orioles with a 4-3 record, an ERA of 3.23, Tomoyuki Sugano. And now let's get into the starting lineups here for your Seattle Mariners. Leading off for the Mariners at shortstop, J.P. Crawford. Batting second, DHing for the Mariners, Jorge Polanco. Batting third, playing center field, Julio Rodriguez. Batting cleanup, batting fourth, catching today for Seattle, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Batting fifth, playing left field, Randy Arozarena. Batting sixth, playing first base, Rowdy Tellez. Batting seventh, playing right field, Rowdy Tellez. Batting eighth, playing second base, Cole Young. And batting ninth, playing third base, Ben Williamson. And on the mound with an 0-2 record, which is very rare, 11.42 ERA, had shoulder inflammation during spring training, and his first two starts after rehab have not been good, but hopefully things will turn around. It is George Kirby. And honestly, at this time, I think that Logan Evans and Emerson Hancock give us a better chance to win right now than George Kirby or Bryce Miller. Now, we know how good George Kirby and Bryce Miller have been in the past, but if they're not right mentally or physically, you got to go with the guys that give you the best chance to win. Just like I feel with Polo at DH struggling, I think that we should swap Cole Young and Polo, based on batting order. Cole Young should be batting second if that gives us the best chance to win behind JP, or ahead of JP Crawford 1, Cole Young 2, Julio 3, Cal 4, and I think bringing Polo down, into the 8 hole, or not even playing him at all, unless it's only against righties only, and maybe swapping Polo out for like Dylan Moore at DH could give us more wins. Just trying to be able to think outside the box, but hopefully we can compete here this afternoon/evening. Monkey Kung Fu with a $10 holla. Let's go, M's. How about a John Olerud pick? One of my favorite kind of obscure names that was on the team for just a few years. Absolutely loved John Olerud when he was on the Blue Jays as well as the Mariners. I can definitely do that for you. Thank you so much for your support to get us started off on a good foot early and often. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks with a little Cactus Jack. Bang, bang, Monkey Kung Fu. Appreciate you very, very much. Go Mariners. Trident up, and I'll get some John Olerud for you as soon as I can. Appreciate you. Daniel in the building. Happy Tuesday. How are you? Let's go, baby. And let me see if I can find one here real quick before we get into first pitch. And there's not going to be a lot that will fill the screen. As you can see, Macklemore there with John Olerud. All-Star game back, you know how it is, way back in the day in that 2001 era. Appreciate you very, very much. And let me see what else I can find as we go throughout the broadcast to see if I can find a few others. They may not be able to fit the screen, but I'll still be looking to see if I can find some good opportunities for some John Olerud. Appreciate you very, very much. Let me see if I can find something like maybe his autograph, on a photo here. Let's see if we can pull that up here. And as we get a little bit further along, I'll be able to do a little bit more throughout the commercial break. But I wanted to make sure I acknowledge you, and I appreciate you very, very much. Thank you for the support. And here we go. Little John Olerud auto, obviously from back in the day. And he didn't sign a whole lot, so autograph is pretty rare. Appreciate you very, very much. We're at 10:90 to go to hit the goal. First pitch to Jackson Holliday, who looks like he's 13. Fouls it off with a four-seam fastball from Kirby. 0-1 count. And obviously we want Kirby to get off to a good start. We know how rough it has been for Furious George. And again, ERA of 11.42 is not the George that I know, and especially an 0-2 record. I knew he was going to be a little shaky to start off, but hopefully he gets better as the season goes on. And if not, call Logan Evans back up. And there's no shame in, sending a guy like Kirby or Miller to AAA or putting him on the IL if Emerson Hancock and Logan Evans are better this year. You got to go with the hot hand. You know what I'm saying? 1-1 pitch. Fouled off, high and away with that sinker. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Kirby to Holliday. Let's go, baby. Jackson Holliday in the box. George Kirby on the mound. And it's not like I'm a Kirby hater or a Bryce Miller hater. I love them, but again, they just haven't been good because of injuries this year. And again, when you got a guy that's lights out in Logan Evans, he doesn't deserve to be in AAA. He didn't do anything wrong. He pitched well. He's like our new Brian Wu, and I love the goggles. He's got the swag and the aura. And as far as Emerson Hancock, we know he started off weak, and he was terrible in the beginning as Holliday grounds out to second, throw to first. Cole Young, baby. Let's go. 1 away. But again, I'm just trying to be able to think of ways to be able to produce more for this team. And again, I think Emerson Hancock at this point is better than Bryce Miller. And again, if you've been watching the games, like I call them every day, again, I know it might be shocking to fans outside of the Mariners to say, no way, Emerson Hancock and Logan Evans, AAA pitchers, are better than George Kirby or Bryce Miller. But if you have not been paying attention, they're not right. They're injured. So anytime a guy is injured, he's only going to give you so much. First pitch from Kirby to Rushman, fouled off, four-seam fastball, 96 miles an hour, 0-1 count. And obviously a big disappointment in Baltimore's season this year, especially being a team that looked like they were going to be able to make a deep run year in and year out. But again, Anthony Santander, not being able to have him on the team and him joining the Blue Jays has hurt this team more ways than one. 0-1 pitch, takes a strike looking on the outside, behind in the count now 0-2 from Kirby to Rushman. 0-2 pitch, low and at the knees with a slider. Could have been strikeout right there, number 1 for Kirby, but they call ball. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Rushman to Kirby. Let's go. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. We'll be shooting for 20 likes within the first hour, 50 or more overall, and 100 in the donos on every single stream. Pitch fouled off by Adley Rushman, who is a stud, has Oregon ties here, so we're very familiar with him. from the Oregon State Beavers. I actually have a few people that have went to high school with their Rushman's dad, who actually was a teacher. So to be able to see this guy's progression from high school, college, and now the pros, again, people were thinking he was going to be so much better than Cal Raleigh, but Cal has taken his game to the next level, and Rushman, has maybe taken a little bit of a step back from last year. And Rushman singles to center. Nice base knock by Adley. Nice job. Next up, shortstop, Gunnar Henderson. Top of the first inning, Rushman with a single there to left. Top of the first inning, runner at first, 0-0 with one out. And again, Rushman can pull that baseball in any direction that he wants. Got to keep him contained for the most part in this series. First pitch from Kirby to Henderson. Big swing and a miss by Gunnar. 0-1 count. And again, once these guys start gelling together, Holiday, Rushman, and Henderson, it's definitely a bright future for them. But again, Anthony Santander, not having a guy that can hit 30, 40, 50 homers, even if it's a guy that only DH'd for a majority of last year, has made a significant difference in this team, who now, instead of being a playoff team or, competing for the playoffs, they're 22-36, 10-19 on the road, which is ideal for Mariner fans, not ideal for Baltimore. 0-1 pitch, low and away with the knuckle curve by Kirby. 1 ball and 1 strike from Kirby to Henderson. Let's go, George. We need a solid performance here, especially for a guy that's averaging, an ERA of about 12. And Henderson reached on an infield single to the shortstop. Rushman to second. Runners at first and second on George Kirby. Come on, Mariners. Off of J.P. Crawford's mitt right there, and that doesn't happen often. Come on, J.P. You got to help Kirby and Miller out more than any other pitcher, especially when these guys are injured and they're struggling, and they've probably got their confidence shaken up a little bit, especially seeing how good Logan Evans and Emerson Hancock have been as of late. We need a double play to get out of the inning. Chris in the building, what's good? Let's go. Runners now at first and second. Next up, first baseman Ryan O'Hearn. First pitch, low and at the knees with a slider, 87 miles an hour by Kirby. 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch. Big strike looking there in the zone to O'Hearn. 1 ball and 1 strike with runners at first and second and 1 out. O'Hearn having a great year, 329 average. I see you. There was one bright spot on the team that wasn't Holiday, Rushman, or Gunnar Henderson. It's definitely Ryan O'Hearn. He's been the most consistent player. Even the team, this year in 2025 has been struggling. Highest active on-base streak, O'Hearn is at 19 with Vinny Pasquantino, Jose Ramirez at 29, and Vlad Jr. at 33. Wow, Vlad Jr. really raking it. 1-1 pitch, big swing and a miss. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Kirby to O'Hearn. 1-2 pitch, knuckle curve at the knees. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Kirby to O'Hearn. 2-2 pitch, and that one is fouled off. Low and away. Splitter, 85 miles an hour there from Kirby. 2 balls and 2 strikes with runners at first and second and 1 out. We don't want to get down by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 early. Chris in the building. Trident's up. Anna in the building. What's good? And again, depending on what Kirby looks like in his first 4 or 5 starts, same thing with Bryce Miller, we have to really strongly consider, playing a guy like Logan Evans and Emerson Hancock instead. We're going to get Logan Gilbert back. You're going to have Logan Gilbert, Brian Wu, Luis Castillo, and we hope Gilbert doesn't look like Kirby and Miller. We can't afford to have all 3 of our top starting 5 injured and not looking good. And I believe that Gilbert will be much better when he comes back than Kirby and Miller. But again, I'm not giving up on Kirby and Miller for 2025, but they definitely need to get it in high gear quick. Pitch fouled off with that slider. Count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes from Kirby to O'Hearn. And I know there's not very many teams that could run a 6-man rotation. The Mariners are probably the only team that could do it, but they got to find a way to get Logan Evans, on the team, even if that means moving him to the bullpen, which could be a blessing in disguise, even though he deserves to start. Right now, you got to think Brian Wu is the one, but Logan Evans might be the second best pitcher on the team who's not on the team. And then, Luis Castillo. And then we'll go and see what Logan Gilbert looks like. And obviously the worst at the time right now are Kirby and Miller. So, we got to be able to figure it out. Pitch is low and at the knees with the sinker. Count now full. 3 balls, 2 strikes from Kirby to O'Hearn. Hope everyone is having a fantastic Tuesday. I missed you guys yesterday. Took a nice quality day with my pup. Went to a couple parks, enjoyed the exercise, got a little sun, and definitely excited to get back to work. And again, I'm only going to have maybe 2 days off, 3 days off all month, so it's going to be busy. In play, and O'Hearn singles to right, Henderson to second, Rushman to third. We're in trouble. And again, George Kirby, I don't really have a whole lot of confidence in you right now in 2025. Already bases loaded with 1 out, and then the magic number has to be 3 runs or less. We can't have any starter, even a guy that's got an ERA of 12. We can't have you giving up 5 runs early. You're giving a lot of pressure to the Mariners' bats, if we're already down by a bunch early on. First pitch from Kirby to Ramon Urias. Takes a strike looking right down the middle. 4-seam fastball, 0-1 count. Third baseman Ramon Urias. Don't even get any ideas for any grand salamis. My heart can't take that. Not this early in the game, especially with this Baltimore team not being like a playoff team this year. This is going to be a team that more than likely is going to miss the playoffs, and they're kind of I won't say on the bottom end, but they're definitely one of the biggest disappointments in 2025. We don't want to lose to the Orioles. Urias, 279 average, 2 homers and 18 ribbies, OPS of 698. 0-1 pitch, and Kirby, sac fly to right, Rushman scores, Henderson to third, 1-0 Baltimore with runners on the corners. Come on, Kirby. And again, I would, I don't want to act like I'm surprised because I don't really have a lot of confidence in Kirby right now. And this year might be just a wash for him. We'll find out, in start number 4, start number 5, start number 6. But if it looks like this, you better swap for Logan Evans or you're going to be, hurting the team overall. Facts. Next up, center fielder Colton Cowser. Limit the damage here. Let's not give up more than just that 1 run. We have to make sure that we score 5 runs, 7 to 10 hits, especially with George Kirby on the mound with a high ERA of 11.42, 0-2 record. Again, shoulder inflammation. It sounds like it was more than that. I'm not sure if he needs Tommy John, but man, he does not look good. First pitch from Kirby outside with the sinker, 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch to Colton Cowser, high and away with a 4-seam fastball. 2 balls and no strikes with runners on the corners at first and third and 2 outs. Come on, George. Wake up. Let's go, baby. 2-0 pitch. Golly. High and away. 3-0 count. This is a nightmare. You might have to pull this guy, and they won't, but they probably should pull him, within the first 4 innings if it continues like this. But at this pace, we might be down 5-0 if that happens. There's no way in hell George is going to be able to make it 5 or 6 innings. No way in hell. Not the way that he looks here. 3-0 pitch, takes a strike swinging. Big swing and a miss. 3 balls and 1 strike from Kirby to Cowser. Come on, George. 3-1 pitch, fouled off, high and away. Count now is full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, runners on the corners at first and third with 2 outs, and Colton Cowser in the box. Come on, Mariners. Commit the damage. Let's go. Pitch fouled off again with the 4-seam fastball. Top of the first inning, runners on the corners, first and third with 2 outs. 3-2 pitch, fouled off again. Third consecutive foul ball by Colton Cowser. Got to be able to get out of this inning. Come on, George, wake up, man. Come on, M's. Trident's up. And you know it's starting to get to George mentally, too. And in play on the 3-2 pitch. And we just got lucky there. Cowser flies out to center. Julio is there. No fly zone. We give up a run, but it could have been much, much worse. Nice job, Mariners, on containing the damage control there. Let's go and see who's up next here for the Mariners. Leading off for the Mariners at shortstop, J.P. Crawford. Batting second, DHing for the Mariners, Jorge Polanco. And batting third, center fielder, Julio Rodriguez. And again, Julio's batting average has dropped all the way down to like 100 in the last 15, 16, 17, 18 games after starting the year being our MVP and hitting 350 to 450 and 10 homers. I can't even tell you the last time that he homered. And again, if it was me and I was running the team, I would bench him. I would put Dylan Moore in the 2-hole for Polo, or I would swap Polo in the batting order with Cole Young. And I would move Cole Young into the 2-hole after J.P. Crawford, before Julio, and then after, obviously, having that rotation of J.P., Cole Young, Julio, Cal. That would give us the best opportunity to score while still having Ben Williamson in the 9-hole. Again, Dylan Moore, he is a streaky player, but I feel that he gives us a better chance to, get a hit than Polo right now. And we'll see. Polo can't really hit, against lefties. You can only really play him against righties. But again, the whole point of having a DH is having an Edgar Martinez type of guy that, doesn't play D, maybe could be out there, but is a specialist at hitting. And at this point, Polo can't even buy a hit. So I hope it gets better for him, moving forward, just like it did for Randy as of late. But again, I have some concerns with Polo here. And again, I wouldn't have him in the 2-hole. I would definitely move him down in the 7-8 hole if I was managing the team, just to give us the best chance to win. So, Dan with Ukraine in the building. What's good? And leading off here is J.P. Crawford. And on the mound for the Orioles, 4-3 record, ERA of 3.23, Tomoyuki Sugano. So he's got a decent record. And we'll see what happens here. Hopefully we'll be able to rough him up. Tomoyuki a little bit here early. 272 average, 5 homers, 22 ribbies for JP. Starting to get hot as of late. First pitch into JP. Tries to jam the hitter. 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch. Low and away. In the zone. Should have been called strike, but called ball. Bad call there by the ump. 2-0 count from Sugano to Crawford. 2-0 pitch. Takes a strike looking in the zone with a cutter by Sugano. 88 miles an hour. 2 balls and 1 strike to J.P. Crawford. Let's go, J.P. We need you to get on base early and often. Let's go, baby. Two-one pitch. Takes a strike looking in the zone. Sugano finding the strike zone early. 2 balls and 2 strikes with nobody on and no outs. Baltimore with a 1-0 lead early on, which could have been much, much worse with bases loaded and only an out. In play on the 2-2 pitch and lined out to center. 1 away. Nice grab by Colton Cowser. Okay, JP, still love you, but we're going to need you later. Next up, DHing for the Mariners, Jorge Polanco. I don't know if I've seen a guy drop off, off the face of a cliff like Polo has, but again, hopefully he'll be able to get right. And again, if he's injured, and that's the reason why, send him to the IL so that way we can actually play someone that could get more production for us like Dylan Moore. First pitch is outside with a four-seam fastball. 1-0 count from Sugano to Polo. 1-0 pitch, takes a strike swinging, low and away. 1 ball and 1 strike from Sugano to Polo. I mean, if we want to be able to maximize the best pitchers, the best relievers, the best players, day in and day out, you just can't default a guy and, just because that's what he was, at the beginning of the year, you have to evaluate as the season is going along. In play, and Polo grounds out to first, 2 away. But not a whole lot of confidence at Polo at the 2-hole or even in general. Next up, center fielder Julio Rodriguez had an absolutely destructive, phenomenal, explosive May. And I know June is going to be just like that. Let's go, J-Rod. Tridents up. Let's go. First pitch to Julio, takes a strike looking, 0-1 count. And again, we need you to step up, my guy. Tridents up. 0-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss. Sugano gets him to bait off a pitch 5 feet off the plate. That looks like the old Julio from March and April. Don't be doing that, J-Rod. Behind in the count now, 0-2. Bottom of the first with nobody on. Baltimore with a 1-0 lead. Kirby struggling early, just like he did in his first 2 starts. 244 average, 10 homers, 32 ribbies for Julio. And if he keeps up that pace and gets a little bit hotter, he might even be able to get a backup, vote to make it into the All-Star game this year. But he's probably going to have to hit 10 homers in June to do that. He's going to have to be at like 20 homers. That's as many as he had all last year. But if he can, by July 1st, July 2nd, if he's at 20 homers, he might be able to get an invite to the All-Star game. Brian Wu, definitely deserving. Andres Munoz, and Cal Raleigh is an automatic bid. 0-2 pitch, low and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Sugano to Julio. 1-2 pitch, low and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Sugano to Julio. Come on, J-Rod. We need you, baby. 2-2 pitch, sinker, low and away. Tries to paint that corner, but doesn't get the call from the ump. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes with nobody on and 2 outs. Sugano on the mound. Tomoyuki and Julio in the box. 3-2 pitch in play and grounded out to the shortstop, throw to first, and that's the end of the Mariners. Go to the top of the second inning with a deficit of 1-0 for Seattle. Let's see if I can find something else maybe here for John Olerud. See if I can find something else here. Not a whole lot available for John. Let's see if I can find anything that's usable, even if it doesn't fit the screen. But we were able to come up with this one. A little blurry, because it's an old school photo. And then this one's pretty nice. Obviously, the Olerud auto. He doesn't sign often. It's a pretty rare auto. And let's see if I can find an action shot of John. For Monkey, appreciate you. There we go. See if I can find one with his classic batting helmet that he would wear at first base, which is very cool. You wouldn't really see too many guys sporting the batting helmet at first, but he was one of those guys that would do that, not only in Toronto, but Seattle. Love it, baby. I got one. It's not that exact one. I got the one where they used to wear in Griffey's rookie year and Griffey's second year, where it's that lighter shade of blue with the yellow S. But I got one sitting here in my room back when I was, 7, 8 years old. I'd be running around the house, chanting Griffey, as well as a lot of the other players, and wearing that, screaming my head off, watching the TV. End of the first inning, 1-0 Baltimore. Let's see who's up next here for the Baltimore Orioles. Next up for the Orioles, DHing Kobe Mayo. Batting second, right fielder Heston Kjerstad. And batting third, left fielder Dylan Carlson. Let's go Mariners. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. We've already hit 20 plus within the first 30 minutes. You guys are awesome. Appreciate you guys very, very much. And we only need 5 more to get to 30. First pitch in play and grounded out to third. Throw to first, 1 away. There we go, baby. Way to get Kobe Mayo out. Big Ben Williamson. You don't want none of that defense, baby. There we go, 1 away. Next up for the Orioles, right fielder, Heston Kjerstad. We're at 25. We need 25 more. We're trying to hit 50 for the likes. And we're at 10 on the dono train, 90 to go. Monkey, I appreciate you very, very much. Jacob in the building, what's good? First pitch, takes a strike looking to Kjerstad. 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch. High and away with a 4-seam fastball, 96 miles an hour. 1 ball and 1 strike from Kirby to Kjerstad. That's going to be a tough division for you, Jacob, with the Twins and the Tigers. You know, it's going to be 3 teams battling it out, throwing haymakers. Tigers are the best team in that division. Maybe the Twins are slightly better than the Guardians this year, but I wouldn't count your team out until it's all said and done. You guys are crafty. 1-1 pitch, high and away, fouled off. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Kirby to Kjerstad. I agree. I was talking to a couple of friends of mine, and I think that they should swap Cole Young into the 2-hole, instead of Polo, and bringing Polo down to the 7 or 8 hole. And then if you're going to still play him, fine, but put him lower in the lineup. They did it one time in the 7 hole, and then they, moved him, from the 2 to the 7, then brought him back after just a game. But I think benching Polo for Dylan Moore would be smart. Even if we had Luke Raley, I would rather have Luke Raley DHing than Polo at this time. And if it's an injury, he needs to speak up because it's hurting the team. 2-2 pitch. Low and inside. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes from Kirby to Kjerstad. But I don't think Polo should be playing, at the DH. And obviously we can't have him play a position because he's got a noodle arm. And we already know Cole Young is better at second than Polo. We already know Ben Williamson is better at third. Those guys are studs there. Again, there's not really any place that Polo can play besides DH. That's it. And again, the whole point of having a DH is being able to hit like Edgar Martinez, and you can't. And Kjerstad singles to center. This is not the George Kirby that I know and love. He definitely is still not right after missing 50-plus games. 0-2 record, 11.42 ERA. Hopefully that ERA goes down, but this is not who I'm used to seeing. Nice hit by Heston. Next up in the 9-hole, left fielder Dylan Carlson. I honestly think that, Emerson Hancock and Logan Evans are light years ahead of Kirby and Miller this year. And even though Hancock looked terrible at the beginning of the year, he's better right now than Kirby and Miller. Like, no question, Like, if you have Miller and Kirby out there on the mound, you have to assume that they're going to give up 4, 5, 6 runs or more, most of the time. And then every once in a while, they'll give up 3 or less. But this is not the same type of player, pre-injury. And I think that, if I'm being honest, I think this year for George Kirby is going to be a wash. I don't think he's going to be right all year. And we just have to pray next year he'll be back to his regular form. But I think this is going to be a wasted year for George. And the longer that we stick with him and Miller instead of Hancock and Logan Evans, on top of having Castillo, Wu, and Gilbert, we have to play our best 5 pitchers. We're just lucky enough that we have 7, but the bottom 2 are not good right now. And another single. Man, we might have to pull this guy by the 4th, 5th inning. Nice hit by Dylan Carlson. Now we're back at the top of the order. Second baseman Jackson Holiday. We need a double play on this 13-year-old. Come on now. Jackson definitely looks like he's 13, 14, 15. First pitch from Kirby to Holiday. Sinker outside, big swing and a miss, 0-1 count. Top of the second inning, 1-0 Baltimore with runners at first and second for the Orioles. 0-1 pitch, fouls that one off in the zone, behind in the count 0-2. Orioles already have 5 hits. We don't even have 1 yet. Come on, George. Yeah, I'm sad that Polo's slumping. Randy was slumping and he got out of it. So again, hopefully Polo, can find his way. But again, we have to be able to start playing the best options. And again, If Polo is going to be like this, send him to the IL and let's call up Harry Ford. Harry Ford can play catcher. He can play left field. And guess what? Harry Ford could be our everyday DH. You have to think outside the box. If you're going to go with Mitch Garver as the backup catcher, even though we know Ford, in the farm is better, he's been killing it in AAA. He's been just as good as Cole Young. And we need to have Young and Ford together. And again, that would solve our DH problem by having Harry Ford play, even though I know that he would want catching experience over Mitch Garver as the backup to Cal. But there's no way in hell we should trade Harry Ford at the deadline. That is someone that could help us, even if it's just bare minimum DHing every day. Facts. Top of the second inning, runners at first and second with one out. Kirby on the mound, Holiday in the box. 1-2 pitch, fouled off, low and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Kirby to Holiday. And again, I keep up with the single A, high A, double A, triple A, the Tacoma Rainiers, Modesto Nuts. I'm following all the farm teams to make sure, that we're on the right path. Everett Aqua Sox, I'm all over it, man. And not a lot of Mariner fans follow the farm. So obviously it's my job to be able to keep everyone updated on our top 10 guys out of the 100, the number 1 farm team in MLB, the Seattle Mariners. And Holiday on a 1-2 pitch, strikes out swinging. There we go, George. Finally a punch out for George Kirby. There you go, my guy. Finally. Punch out for George, 2 away. Down goes Jackson Holiday. Next up is catcher that has Oregon ties. 1 for 1 with a run, Adley Rushman. We just have to be very blessed that we have 7 pitchers that were that deep, and if guys are hurt physically or mentally and they're not right, we have to make sure that we understand what's going to be giving us the best chance to win. Hell, I don't even trust Kirby or Miller in the pen, and again, it's like, we've already had our struggles there, and we already know that, Matt Brash is a stud, right? Gabe Spire looks like he's turning it around. Even guys that we don't normally trust all the time, like Bizzardo, is starting to kind of, be a little bit better, a little bit more consistent, but the trust isn't really there. And then we know Munoz is still the guy, took 50 plus games before his first fuck up and then had 2 fuck ups back to back, but hopefully he'll get back to where he needs to be. First pitch, takes a strike looking from Kirby to Rushman, 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch, big swing and a miss right down the middle from Rushman, behind in the count now 0-2. We're in the top of the second with runners at first and second with 2 outs. 0-2 count from Rushman. And again, we have to be happy that Anthony Santander is no longer on this team, and if he was, this team would not be below 500. They would be exactly where they were last year. It's crazy to think that a couple players, not on this team would make that much of a difference, like a Corbin Burns or an Anthony Santander. But when they're that good, yeah, it does make a difference with the gelling of this team, especially when their DH, Santander, could hit 30, 40, 50 home runs from the DH spot. He was amazing last season. And now he's on the Toronto Blue Jays, and the Oriole fans wish he was still there. Facts. Pitches high and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Kirby to Rushman. Come on, George. Find a way, baby. And bring back these grays. We need to bring back the gray jerseys. Those are fire. I know some people think they're just kind of bland and ordinary, but again, with all the other jerseys that we have, Rushman strikes out swinging. There we go. Nice job, George, bringing a little bit of electricity. And I don't mind the teal or the City Connects, with the, the blue and the black, and obviously they have the cream and the whites. They got a lot of different jersey combos, but they need to implement those grays. They've always been lucky for us, from all the way back in the day until, just currently until they got rid of them. All right, let's see who's up next here for the Mariners, and hopefully we'll be able to tie this game up or take the lead. Let's go to the bottom of the second inning. Leading off for the Mariners, big dumper catcher Cal Raleigh. Batting second, left fielder Randy Arozarena. And batting third, first baseman Rowdy Tellez. Let's go, Cal. Doesn't have the control or the placement that he normally does. You know, it's like if you're going to be a Greg Maddux, you got to be able to hit your location, and he definitely is still injured. Let's go, Big Dumper. Top 3 MVP candidate. Obviously, we know Shohei Ohtani is going to win it in the National League, and it's going to come down to Cal Raleigh or Aaron Judge. And Aaron Judge is having a fantastic year. But the thing is, Yankees would still be good without Aaron Judge. The Mariners would not be good without Cal Raleigh, period. So, again, you know, it's really going to come down to, you know, if Cal can keep the consistency, and then there will be a little bit of a battle, you know, between him and Aaron Judge. And it would be awesome if Cal could win an MVP, you know, for the Mariners. And obviously, you know, if he keeps playing like he is, you know, this won't be the last time that we see Cal's name mentioned with OGs and GOATs like Judge and Ohtani, which is pretty cool. First pitch fouled off by Cal Raleigh from Sugano. 0-1 count. Oh, 1 pitch, low and at the knees with the splitter by Sugano. 1 ball and 1 strike to Big Dumper, Cal Raleigh. Let's go, Cal. 1-1 pitch. Low and at the knees. 2 balls and 1 strike from Sugano to Big Dumper. 2-1 pitch. Takes a strike looking right down the middle. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Big Dumper, Cal Raleigh. Come on, Cal. Wild. Cal Raleigh has 1,000 OPS against lefties and righties. That's fucking wild. You know, you never see something like that. Pitch is low and at the knees. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Big Dumper, Cal Raleigh. He's on pace to hit 64 home runs. And we're just over a third of the way of the season. No catcher has even hit over 50 plus in a season. So again, the record is Salvador Perez with 48 in 2021. Cal is going to absolutely obliterate that. And again, I can't wait to be able to see the consistency. Down goes Cal Raleigh, but that's all right. 1 away. Nice pitch there by Sugano. Next up is left fielder Randy Arozarena. But 64 home runs is what Cal is pacing for. The record is 48. Cal's going to break it. 188 WRC. The record is 183 and 97 by Mike Piazza. He's got a chance to beat that. And then a F-WAR stat. Buster Posey had the record with 9.8 in 2012. He's projected for 10.6. So we're literally watching the best season by a catcher ever. You know, like we've never seen a catcher do what Cal is doing, let alone being a great defensive leader, defensive catcher, and being able to switch hit on an elite level. It's remarkable to be able to see what's happening here. And Randy grounds out. Throw to first. 2 away. Down goes Randy. Next up, first baseman Rowdy Tellez. So OPS stands for on base plus slugging. It's a baseball statistic that combines a player's on-base percentage, slugging percentage into a single number. OPS is used to kind of like evaluate a hitter's performance. Back, gone! Rowdy Tellez. Oh, baby, I love it. As I'm explaining OPS here, he goes back, 404 feet to right, off the second deck. Boom, shakalaka, 1-1 tie. Let's go. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Rowdy Tellez We like that. You never know who's going to be that unsung hero, baby. Trident's up. I brought up the photo. What does he do? He says, I need to come up big. I need to be electric on Sagano. And there it is. We got a tie. We're knotted up at 1, baby. And we needed that desperately. We don't want to be sitting at 0 for the first 6 innings. Not against this team. Hell yeah. Next up, right fielder Rowdy Tellez. First pitch, 5 feet off the plate, high and away, 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch, low and at the knees. 2 balls and no strikes from Sagano to Tellez. 2-0 pitch, high and away. Sagano losing his control and his confidence. 3 balls and no strikes from Sagano to Tellez. Let's go, Rowdy. Take the walk. Take what they give you. Don't try to be a hero. Does that make any sense, DJ? The OPS explanation? I can go over it again if it didn't make sense to you. But it's pretty self-explanatory. You know, it's one of those stats where they combine 2 major stats together to give a number on how dominant a player really is. 3-1 pitch, and that one is fouled off. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes from Sagano to Tellez. Judah in the building, what's good? Lauren in the building, what's good? Michael in the building, what's good? Let's go, baby. You just missed a solo jack by Rowdy Tellez to tie it up 1-1. And George Kirby still looks very, very shaky. And there is the walk. Good eye there by Rowdy Tellez to take the walk. Nice job, Rowdy. Next up, one of the major fan favorites from AAA. Hopefully his teammate Harry Ford will be joining the Mariners soon. Second baseman for the next 5 to 10 years, Cole Young. Let's go, Cole. We're living in a Cole world, baby. And again, I'm going to be representing Cole on the thumbs, quite often. I mean, we always can put Julio and we can always put Cal, but it's nice to be able to sprinkle in some of the pitchers as well as some of the other role players on the team. First pitch to Cole Young, fouls it off right down the middle from Sagano, 0-1 count. STL in the building, what's good, brother? That's unfortunate, man. I did think that the A's and the Red Sox would be slightly better than they were last year, and they started off hot, both of you guys, the Athletics and the Red Sox, but then both of your guys' teams have kind of hit a wall, and both of them now are kind of towards the bottom of the division. Hopefully things will change as the season goes on, or changes will be needed to be made, like firing a manager or making big trades at the deadline. 0-1 pitch, high and away with the 4-seam fastball. 1 ball and 1 strike from Sagano to Young. Yeah, that's brutal, bro. And I know how much you love sports, living out there on the East Coast. So I hope that they'll be able to find a way to turn it around. No one likes watching their team finish in last place or second to last in the division year in and year out. So I feel for you, bro. Pitch fouled off with that cutter by Sagano. 2 balls and 2 strikes with a runner at first. Cole Young in the box. Sagano on the mound. We're doing a great job with the likes so far. You guys are awesome. Shout out to all the global viewers and the viewers in the United States as well. We're at 32 likes. We only need 18 more before the stream ends, and we're only in the 2nd inning. So shout out to all the people that are watching. We have at least 20 that haven't done it, but we do have 32. So we're definitely making some really good ground, not only on the likes, but the subs, the views, the donos. I appreciate everyone showing the love, and we've definitely hit a nice uptick of viewership, and not just viewership in the United States, also globally. And I'm going to go over and shout out those people from all over the country. And we also gained another sub here just recently. So shout out to all the new subs that we've acquired. Now we only need 60 to get to 20,900, 160 to get to 21,000. And I've been looking at that number for quite some time. Pitch fouled off. Count now is full from Sagano to Young. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs with a runner at first. But we used to have about 1,000 to 1,500 regular viewers. Now we're all the way up to 2,600 regular viewers that come to the channel on a daily basis. And on top of that, we obviously have gotten the female viewership up from 5% to 13%, 87% for the homies and the dudes, 13% for the females, which is awesome to be able to see that. And then obviously the views, United States is 71%, but then Venezuela 5.6, Mexico 4.5, Dominican Republic 3.5, and then we also have Canada, Philippines, Japan, Colombia, Taiwan, Nicaragua, New Zealand, Australia, just to name a few. And Young grounds out to first, and that is the end of the inning. But shout out to all of the individuals that are watching, not only in the United States, but across the globe. It's just kind of, humbling to know people all across the globe, not just in the United States and Canada, are watching and supporting. And it really makes me feel good to be able to bring the female viewership up as well. And even the age groups, we got every age group taken care of, 13 to 17, 18 to 24, 25 to 34, and 35 to 44 are the tops. And then we even have great viewership from 45 to 54, 55 years old to 64 years old, and even 65 and up is at 10.6%. So we're getting people as far as young, people, middle age, and even the OGs, are showing love to the channel. And it really does make me feel good. I'm going to give my blood, my sweat, my tears to this channel. The better that the Mariners do, the better that we're going to do. Obviously, more people betting on the Mariners, more people interested to see on this uprising of the Seattle Mariners, tridents up. And I just want to just take a moment to thank every single one of y'all that's in the room that's been with me from the beginning, recently, or somewhere in between. You guys are the best. End of the second inning. Let's go to the top of the third. We're knotted up at 1. Let's see who's up next here for the Orioles. And I apologize about the music. I had it up too loud. I was prepping all my thumbnails and everything there. So apologize about that. That was about 15 points higher on the volume. I normally have it at 35. And I just scrolled down to look at all of my features on my program, and I noticed it was set at the default at 50. So I apologize for the loudness of the music in the background, but I got it all settled in now. A lot of buttons I have to go through on a daily basis. Next up is shortstop, 1-for-1, Gunnar Henderson. Batting second on deck, first baseman Ryan O'Hearn, and batting third baseman Ramon Urias. First pitch from George Kirby to Gunnar Henderson. Takes a strike looking in the zone, 0-1 count. I got you, STL. I'll get you for your dono from the previous stream. I got you. Takes a strike looking, 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch, low and at the knees with the splitter by Kirby. 1 ball and 1 strike to Gunnar Henderson. 1-1 pitch, high and away with the sinker. 2 balls and 1 strike from Kirby to Henderson. In play on the 3-1 pitch, and grounded out to second, throw to first, 1 away. Next up for the Orioles, first baseman, 1-for-1, Ryan O'Hearn. First pitch, fouls it off right down the middle with a sinker from Kirby, 0-1 count. 96 miles an hour there from George. Automatic ball for a pitch timer violation there by Kirby. 1-1 pitch, high and away with the four-seam fastball. 2 balls and 1 strike from Kirby to O'Hearn. Two-one pitch, big swing and a miss. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Kirby to O'Hearn. 2-2 pitch, high and inside, tries to jam the hitter. He doesn't bite with that sinker. Count now is full. 3 balls, 2 strikes with nobody on and 1 out. Top of the 3rd inning, we're knotted up at 1. And I got a couple here for your Kate Anderson for your LSU Tigers. Some of the photos didn't really convert, but at least I was able to get those 2 for you. I appreciate you, my guy. Keep your head up. 2-2 pitch. 3-2 pitch. And that's fouled off. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes from Kirby to O'Hearn. And O'Hearn with the walk. First pitch to Ramon Urias. Takes a strike looking in the zone. 0-1 count. I'll get another one up there for you. Appreciate you, my guy. Oh, 1 pitch, high and away with the four-seam fastball. 1 ball, 1 strike from Kirby to Urias. 0 for 0 with an RBI for Ramon. Come on, George. No, it's all good, Judah. You know, again, this is a safe place, you know, to be able to hang out, you know, talk sports, you know, vibe, and also vent, you know, if needed. So don't worry, my guy, you're fine. Nobody's going to understand what it's like to be a fan in that part of the country, you know, unless you are one. Or if you have a similar situation, either now or in the past. 2-1 pitch, outside, high and away. Count now is 3 balls and 1 strike with a runner at first and 1 out. Top of the 3rd inning, we're knotted up at 1. And just to give a quick update for everyone just hopping in the bottom of the 1st inning, Urias hit a sac fly to right when bases loaded. Rushman scored 1-0. We could have been down 3-0 in the first, so we got lucky. And then in the bottom of the 2nd inning, about 10 minutes ago, Rowdy Tellez homered to right, 404 feet, and we're knotted up at 1. We love some Rowdy. And in play, and Urias grounds out into the double play. We love that. And that's the end of the Orioles in the 3rd. Hell yeah. Ben Williamson throw to second. And that's beautiful. Williamson to Young to Tellez. Bang, bang, bang. Defense all day, every day. And that's something that we're going to be able to see from years to come. Young to Ben to Rowdy. Let's go. Let's go to the bottom of the 3rd inning and take the fucking lead. Next up, you already know who it is, the guy that makes all the defensive plays at 3rd, Ben Williamson. Let's go B-Dubs. Let's go Big Ben. Batting 2nd, 0 for 1, shortstop, J.P. Crawford. And batting 3rd, 0 for 1, DHing Jorge Polanco. Come on, Polo, wake up, my guy. Projected top 4. Wow. Well, obviously, you being a Cardinal fan, it would be better for him to go to your team, so that way you could be, an LSU Tiger fan and then going to your favorite team there for the St. Louis Cardinals. We already have lots of pitching, but it's not like we would, we wouldn't say no to someone like that, especially if he's got the goods. Not JT in the building. What's good? Going to the bottom of the third inning, 1-1, Orioles and Mariners. Had to go check up on my pup real quick. First pitch, low and away. 1-0 count to Ben Williamson. 1-0 pitch, low and away with the cutter. 86 miles an hour. 2 balls and no strikes to Big Ben Williamson. Let's go, Big Ben. 2-0 pitch, takes a strike looking. 2 balls and 1 strike to Big Ben Williamson. 2-1 pitch, and Ben connects, but flies out to right. 1 away. It's all good, Big Ben. I love your defense, and we know your bat will come alive. 1 away. Next up, shortstop, J.P. Crawford. Let's go, J.P. Set the tone early and often. You get a hit, that'll hopefully, carry off and, rub off on guys like Polo who have been struggling. Let's go, J.P. Tomoyuki Sagano, 4-3 record with an ERA of 3.23 on the mound. And J.P. Crawford in the box. First pitch, J.P. takes a strike looking on the line. 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch, high and away. 4-seam fastball. 1 ball and 1 strike from Sagano to Crawford. Female boxer, Ellie. Nice. 1-1 pitch, fouled off, low and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Sagano to Crawford. Yeah, getting a puppy or a dog, it's a lot of responsibility, but again, if you put in, the time and the energy and the effort as we gain another sub, I appreciate that. In play on a 1-2 pitch, and JP singles the left, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Shout out to the 2 subs that we got here today so far. Appreciate you guys very much. Nice job by JP Crawford. Setting the tone early. Next up is Jorge Polanco. Come on, Polo. You were batting 350 to 450 for the first month and a half, but in the last 20 games, you're down to batting 100, like the Donovan Solano type of stats. And again, if you're the DH and you're only batting 100 in the last 15 to 20 games, we have to replace you with someone that's better, like Dylan Moore, or maybe even when Luke Raley comes back. Because again, you're having issues either with, the injury has come back. Obviously he had a surgically repaired hip and, he had some issues, last season. And I'm not sure if that's the reason here or if he's just mentally in a slump. I know baseball's tough, and hopefully he'll be able to turn it around in the second half of the season. First pitch from Sagano to Polo, 2 feet off the plate with the splitter, 87 miles an hour, 1-0 count. Oh, wow. After being assholes to you for years and years and years, and then trying to make some peace. At least that's a good thing that they're trying to make some peace. But golly, 5 dogs. Holy moly. I couldn't even imagine. 1-0 pitch in play, and Polo grounds out into the double play. I would like to say that I'm surprised, but again, Polo has been probably the worst starter in the starting lineup as far as like reliability, and it's not like he can make up for it defensively because he's a DH. I really would bench him, or send him to the IL and bring up Harry Ford, and then either make Demo, the DH, or bring up Harry Ford and make him the everyday DH and have him be the backup catcher over Garver. And again, they're not going to let Garver go this season. And I want to see Harry Ford contribute to this team, especially since he's been doing so well, for the Tacoma Rainiers, our AAA affiliate, just as good as Cole Young, obviously in May. End of the third inning, we're knotted up at 1. Let's see who's up next here for the Orioles. Next up for the Orioles here in the top of the fourth, 0 for 1 center fielder Colton Cowser. Batting second, 0 for 1 DHing Kobe Mayo. That's a big drop-off from having Anthony Santander, who could hit 30, 40, 50 homers from the DH position last year. Having a good DH fucking matters. And batting third, 1 for 1, right fielder Heston Kjerstad. Let's take a look at the stats of the pitchers so far. We usually do that around this point. George Kirby, 3 innings pitched, 5 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 2 Ks, 66 pitches, 41 strikes. His ERA is down from 11.42 coming into the game to 9.26. Still fucking terrible, but he's getting slightly better. And then for Tomoyuki Sugano, let's take a look. 3 innings pitched, 2 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 1 K, 48 pitches, 27 strikes, ERA of 3.22. Came into the game of a 3.23. So his hasn't really moved that much. First pitch from Kirby to Cowser. Takes a strike looking right down the middle. 0-1 count. Oh, 1 pitch in play. Grounds out to first. 1 away. Next up, DHing Kobe Mayo. 0 for 1 so far in the matchup. First pitch, takes a strike looking high and away in the zone. 0-1 count. We're already at 42 likes for the stream. We only need 8 more to go to hit the goal for the night. And then anything above 50 is just, gravy. So anyone that's in the room that hasn't done it yet, please do. And if you already have, thank you so much. And we're at 10 on the Dono train, 90 to go to hit the goal. 1-0 pitch, or 0-1 pitch, excuse me. High and away, 4-seam fastball, 94 miles an hour by Kirby. 1 ball and 1 strike from Kirby to Mayo. 1-1 pitch, big swing and a miss, high and away. 4-seam fastball, 95 miles an hour by Kirby. 1 ball and 2 strikes with nobody on and 1 out. We're in the top of the 4th inning, knotted up at 1. Come on, George. And Mayo flies out to center on a 1-2 pitch, 2 away. Next up for the Orioles, right fielder Heston Kjerstad. Mike in the building, what's good? Top of the 4th inning, 1-1, Orioles and Mariners. Nobody on with 2 outs. Kirby on the mound. Kjerstad in the box. First pitch, sinker, low and at the knees. 95 miles an hour there by Kirby. 1 ball and no strikes from Kirby to Kjerstad. 1-0 pitch, and lined out to left to Randy Arozarena. And that is the end of the Orioles in the 4th inning. Let's see who's up next here for the Mariners in the bottom of the 4th. Next up for the Mariners, in the 3-hole, 0 for 1, center fielder, Julio Rodriguez. Let's go, baby. Trident's up. Batting second in the 4-hole, 0 for 1 with a K, catcher, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Trident's up, baby. Let's keep getting those homers. Let's get it. And batting third, the hero from the last matchup, 0 for 1, left fielder, Randy Arozarena. Let's go, Mariners. Trident's up. We got two of them in the building. The original and the newbie. I have not. They just need to bring back some of the jersey styles from the Ken Griffey Jr. era. Go to the bottom of the 4th inning. We're knotted up at 1. And just a quick recap in the matchup if you're just tuning in. They had bases loaded with 1 out early in the first. Kirby was not looking good. Ramon Urias hit a sac fly. Adley Rushman scored from third, 1-0 Baltimore, but it could have easily been 3-0 or 4-0 in the first inning. Kirby definitely looks still a little off, but he's kind of settled in since that first inning. And then in the bottom of the second, Rowdy Tellez homered to right, 404 feet, and that's where we're at right now with a 1-1 game. 5 hits for Baltimore, 2 for the Mariners, but out of the 2, one of them was a solo dinger by Rowdy, and that's where we sit right now, knotted up at 1. First pitch from Tomoyuki Sagano to Julio. Takes a strike swinging, 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch, in play, and an infield single by Julio to the shortstop. There we go. That's my boy, Julio Rodriguez, getting a nice base knock here, and this is hopefully the inning where we take the lead. Nice job, J-Rod, with a little dribbler. Nice bare hand throw to first, but it was just a little late, and it went past the first baseman. Nice job, J-Rod. Way to hustle. Next up is big dumper, Cal Raleigh. First pitch from Sagano to Raleigh. Takes a strike looking right down the middle, 0-1 count. Oh-1 pitch, low and away with that sinker. 1 ball and 1 strike from Sagano to big dumper. Come on, Cal. Just awesome to be able to see a player mentioned with Aaron Judge and Shohei Ohtani for MVP. Monkey Kung Fu holding it down. I appreciate you, my guy. $10 holla. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks with a little Cactus Jack. Bang, bang. Appreciate you very, very much. Jamie Moyer, good choice. Bottom of the 4th inning, runner at first with no outs. Gabriel in the building, what's good? Brian in the building, what's good? 1-1 pitch, fouled off. With your support to the channel, I have decided, Monkey Kung Fu, that you're going to be a mod on the channel here. Again, anyone that's willing to go above and beyond and be able to support me, and they're here on a regular basis, deserves to be appreciated. And I appreciate you, and welcome to the club. Welcome to the NWSF. And thank you so much for your ongoing support as Cal flies out to center. 1 away. Captain in the building, what's good? I was waiting for you to come through. And we're at 20 on the dono train, both by Monkey, 10 and a tenner. And he joins the new mods, and I don't really add mods that often. It's pretty rare when I do it, so I appreciate you very, very much, Monkey Kung Fu. And Captain, what's good, my brother? Bottom of the fourth inning, runner at first with one out. First pitch, high and away to Randy Arozarena, 1-0 count. Pitch, takes a strike looking, painting that corner by Sagano. 1 ball and 1 strike to Randy Arozarena. And on your next comment, Monkey Kung Fu, you will see a little wrench next to your name. Shout out to you. 1-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss, high and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Sagano to Randy. 1-2 pitch. And takes a strike looking in the zone and punched him out. 2 away. Nice job by Sagano. We're not haters here. Tomoyuki Sagano, 4-3 record, 3.23 ERA. Hey, anyone can strike out Randy. He's been striking out a lot. Luckily, he ended up being the hero late in the game in our last series, but still strikes out more than any other Seattle Mariner, and that needs to change. Next up, a guy that came up clutch here today, Rowdy Tellez. First pitch, takes a strike looking, low and away, 0-1 count. Let's go, Rowdy. See if we can do it again. How did the move go? I know you've been moving all for the last couple days. Hopefully, you're all finished with the move, or a majority of your move is done. Bottom of the fourth inning, 1-1 Orioles and Mariners. Sagano on the mound, Rowdy Tellez in the box. Rowdy so far the hero of the matchup. And again, I don't expect him to hit a home run at this at-bat, but maybe later in the matchup. Rowdy grounds out to second, throw to first, and that is the end of the fourth inning. Let's go to the top of the fifth and see who's up next here for the O's. Next up for the Orioles, 1-for-1 in the 9-hole, left fielder Dylan Carlson. Batting second, 0-for-2 with a K, second baseman. Looks like he's 13, Jackson Holliday. His dad played in the big leagues. That's when you know you're getting a little bit up there in age. When I start seeing a lot of these guys as dads that I watched when I was a kid, and now the sons are in the big leagues. Quite a few of them. And batting third, 1-for-2 with a run and a K, has Oregon ties catcher Adley Rushman. But Jackson has got to be the youngest looking baseball player maybe ever. I don't know if I've ever seen a kid look this young when he first came up, but I wish the best of luck to him, Rushman, and Gunnar, since they don't have Anthony Santander, who's on the Blue Jays now, and that is really the missing link to this Oriole team being good besides Corbin Burns. Facts. Flying Monk in the building. What's good? Todd with a big dono. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, Flying Monk. Flying Monk earning a mod spot as well. I'm going to do that here for you. Anyone that's going to support me on the level where we're taking this journey to new heights, I need to be able to have reliable people that are going to support. And if you're going to be coming here on a regular basis, and not only that, supporting the best way that you can, and that's obviously the ultimate honor that you can do is obviously being able to show love by not only liking, subbing, viewing, sharing the stream, but donating to the dream. So that way I can continue to keep doing this. And normally we don't have new mods that are added, let alone in the same stream. But again, we're getting it here today. Shout out to 2 people that have really stepped up recently, and I know they will continue to support the NWSF. Stacks on Stacks, Racks on Racks, with a little Cactus Jack and electricity from Flying Monk as well. Appreciate you. Down goes Dylan Carlson, 1 away. Next up is Jackson Holliday. Let me know what you want to do photo-wise, and I got you. I still got the Jamie Moyer that I got to bring up for Monkey Kung Fu. Appreciate the two of you guys very, very much. First pitch from Kirby to Holiday. Low and at the knees, fouled off, 0-1 count. But this might be the first time that I've added, two mods to the channel in the same stream. I can't even tell you. It's been a long time. But again, two definitely very deserving individuals. 0-1 pitch, fouled off again, behind in the count now 0-2 to Jackson Holiday. 0-2 pitch, and got him. Big swing and a miss. Down goes Jackson Holiday. Nice punch out there by George Kirby. And again, he's not going to be able to bring the electricity that often. Still not 100%, but nice to be able to get a punch out once in a while. Next up, with 2 outs in the top of the 5th, knotted up at 1 for 2 with a run and a K, catcher Adley Rushman. I appreciate that very, very much. And again, I was thinking about it, and again, I have so many spots, and again, if some of the older mods, aren't showing up or decided to go somewhere else and whatnot, I have to evaluate, the people that are supporting me that are actually here that want me to be able to achieve my dreams. So, again, I will go and look, at my mod list. And there may be some individuals that I might have to move around, but definitely Flying Monk and Monkey Kung Fu are very deserving. And again, I need to have good people being able to support me to the fullest. And shout out to you. Appreciate you guys very much. 1-1 pitch, high and away. 2 balls and 1 strike from Kirby to Rushman. Appreciate you too. Two-one pitch in play, and Rushman singles to center. He's got Kirby's number in this matchup. I see you, Adley. Played at Oregon State, and when they had their amazing run for the Beavers. Next up, shortstop, 1 for 2, Gunnar Henderson. First pitch to Gunnar Henderson, fouled off, low and away with the splitter, 88 miles an hour, 0-1 count. I'm trying to multitask right now, which is one of those things that you have to try to do, when you end up being a full-time streamer or even a part-time streamer. You have to be able to multitask to the fullest, which is not easy to do when you got multiple screens up and you have a lot of things that need to be done. 0-1 pitch, takes a strike looking in the zone. Sinker, 96 miles an hour there by Kirby, behind in the count 0-2 to Gunnar Henderson. Top of the 5th, runner at first with 2 outs. We're knotted up at 1. Kirby on the mound, Henderson in the box. Kirby looked terrible in the first inning, but has settled down and settled in. But just as soon as I say that, Henderson singles to right and Rushman goes to third. Now we got runners at first and third with 2 outs. But when you got an ERA of about 11 or 12, right, and you're only at 1 run, and you're almost, going to be exiting the game, much better for George Kirby today, even though he's been able to give up a bunch of hits, 7 hits, but nobody has really scored. And hopefully we won't be down 2-1. We can get Ryan O'Hearn out. And I have been working here and multitasking at the same time to try to be able to get some nice Jamie Moyers that aren't blurry, that fit the screen. And obviously, Moyer isn't as old as like John Olerud based on the last time he played. And having a mound visit here to how to pitch to O'Hearn. But I got this nice one for Jamie Moyer. That's crispy, not bad. And then we got this one right here from Jamie Moyer, a little close up, the OG. And then we got another one another Jamie Moyer. So not often that I can find a guy that's been retired with 3 quality photos. They might not all be like HD 4K, but they're the crispiest ones out of the ones that I can actually go after that are either in my collection already or the ones that I have to find. So appreciate you. Yeah, Jamie Moyer is kind of like a George Kirby and a Greg Maddux. It wasn't around top end speed all the time. Every once in a while they could pitch in the mid 90s, but it was really about location. And George Kirby is probably the closest thing to a Greg Maddux that we have that, can hit the, corners and, is not more about, top end speed, but location. But obviously being hurt, that has, obviously been a little difficult for him here in his first 3 starts. But I do have faith, I hope, that at some point that he'll get back to his natural form. 1-1 pitch, fouled off. And that's right down the middle there with the 4-seam fastball, 95 miles an hour. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Kirby to O'Hearn. And once we can start getting to 50 likes on a regular basis, which we pretty much have, then we'll go for 60. And then once 60 is a regular thing, then 75. And then once 75, then it'll be 100. And then we're obviously, going to be going to new heights here on the channel. But pretty much every stream, as we get an RBI here by Ryan O'Hearn, single to center, Rushman scores, and we're down 2-1. But again, it's still something that we can recover from here, but we have to stop the bleeding here. We cannot let them get to 3-1. And defense, some of the guys have been a little out of position, for Kirby here, but hopefully we'll be able to end this and stop the bleeding. Next up, 0 for 1 with an RBI, third baseman Ramon Urias. And again, George has not looked like the typical George Kirby, but at least we're not down 6-1 right now. And again, it's the top of the 5th, so he's going to be exiting, pretty soon. He's already at 90 pitches, so it's not like he's going to be pitching next inning. Just finish strong here. Don't give up any more runs. And again, having an ERA of about almost 12 and only giving up 2 runs, it's not ideal, but any pitcher can give up 3 runs or less. I mean, that's kind of the standard, and you just hope it's 0 or 1, but 2 for Kirby is good at this point, especially in those first 2 starts where he was fucking terrible. First pitch, takes a strike looking on the line. 0-1 count from Kirby to Urias. 55, 45 to go. 7 more likes to 60. We're doing great. Shout out to all of the United States viewership as well as a global viewership on the channel. 0-1 pitch, big swing and a miss, high and away. Behind in the count now, 0-2 to Urias. Oh-2 pitch, fouled off. 4-seam fastball, 96 miles an hour. Trying to finish strong here from Kirby. Top of the 5th, runners on the corners at first and third. 2-1 Oriole lead with an 0-2 count with 2 outs from Kirby to Urias. 0-2 pitch, low and away with the slider, 88 miles an hour by Kirby. 1 ball and 2 strikes with runners on the corners, first and third and 2 outs. 2-1 Baltimore lead. I got you. Wow, George Kirby almost got a hit on the head on that last one. Wow. Or did he get hit in the face? Well, he got right in the face. He got hit. Bloody nose and bloody mouth. Holy shit. Wow. Holy moly. And we get out of the inning there. But wow, Kirby got drilled right in the nose and the mouth. Hopefully he didn't break his nose or lose a tooth. But mouth and nose bloody. Wow. Hopefully he's okay. Let's go to the bottom of the 5th inning, 2-1 Orioles. Yeah, that's tough for George. All right, Jamie. And definitely got to be careful, with those line drives that come right back to you. You got to put your hands up. George was a little late with the reaction time. Baseball right to the nose and mouth, and his nose and mouth were bleeding. So hopefully he'll be okay, but that will be the last time that we see George Kirby here today. Let's go to the bottom of the fifth and see who's up next for the Mariners. Next up for the Mariners, 0 for 0 with a base on ball right fielder, Rowdy Tellez. Batting second, 0 for 1, second baseman, Cole Young. And batting third baseman, 0 for 1, Big Ben Williamson. Let's go. Let's see if I can bring up a photo here. Ken Wright Sellers. And Flying Monk is a wine connoisseur. It seems like you have a passion for wine and golf based on some of the requests that you made. .103 exit velo on that pitch that he threw and got hit back into his face. First pitch to Rowdy Tellez, high and away, 1-0 count. .1-0 pitch, high and away. 2 balls and no strikes to Rowdy Tellez. .2-0 pitch. Tries to jam the hitter at the hips. 3 balls and no strikes from Sugano to Tellez. 3-0 pitch. Takes a strike looking on the corner. 3 balls and 1 strike from Sugano to Rowdy. And Rowdy lines out to left, 1 away. Appreciate you. Down goes Rowdy Tellez. Next up for the Mariners, second baseman Cole Young. It's a Cole world, baby. Let's go, Cole. And Young grounds out to first on the first pitch. Cutter, 2 away. Be a little bit more patient, Cole. We still love you, and we can't wait for your teammate Harry Ford to get the call up, hopefully within the next 2 months or earlier. Next up, third baseman Ben Williamson. 0 for 1 so far, and obviously the defense has still been spectacular. He's got a laser rocket for an arm at third and has made a lot of plays for double plays and amazing throws from third to first. But the bat has cooled off a little bit since we first brought him up when we were on our 9 consecutive series win streak, but still can get back into a little bit of a rhythm, and hopefully he'll get a hit here. First pitch, takes a strike looking right down the middle. 0-1 count. True, right? Yeah. And he tried to move his head at the very last second, but, once you throw and you're in your, throwing motion, and then, you're only going to have so much area to be able to move your head left, right. And, he got drilled, but hopefully he didn't break his nose or lose a tooth or 2. And down goes Ben Williamson. It's the end of the 5th inning. Let's go to the top of the 6th and see who's up next for the Orioles. Next up for the Orioles, 0 for 2, center fielder Colton Cowser. Batting second, on deck, DHing in the 7-hole, 0 for 2, Kobe Mayo. And batting third, 1 for 2, right fielder Heston Kjerstad. Let's go Mariners. A little Pinot Noir. I got a nice photo of the vineyard. Appreciate you, Flying Monk. Beautiful, man. It's very beautiful in Oregon and Washington, just in general. You know, we have breweries, we have wineries, plenty of dispensaries, you know, but the best part about it, if you're not really a big drinker, or if you don't partake in some of those activities, you know, the plenty of nature parks and places to go camp and explore nature. You know, we got it all here in the Pacific Northwest. You know, again, some of the people that live in the, you know, Midwest and, you know, obviously further that direction, you know, they don't really have the same type of landscape as us out here. Once you visit, you know, you will consider moving here. I've had quite a few people that have, you know, lived in Chicago and Florida, you know, New York, and they've come to visit. And once they do, you know, they definitely consider trying to be able to get a place out here, especially depending on what your situation is in your current residence. First pitch to Calzer, takes a strike looking, 0-1 count. And the 1-1 pitch, back, see ya! And Calzer homers to left center, since we don't have George Kirby anymore, but he was going to be out. Not really sure if I like having Bizzardo in the game, and he shows you I'm not reliable, I'm not trustworthy, and I just gave up a dinger. Brutal. Colton Calzer with the dinger, 3-1 Orioles. Brutal. It's not only, you know, bad enough that George Kirby got a line drive in the face, in the nose, and the mouth, and then you bring in Bizzardo, holy hell, and then he already gives up a homer? Not good. Where's Matt Brash when you need him? We need bullpen help. First pitch to Mayo, fouled off, 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch, takes a strike looking right down the middle, behind the count 0-2 from Bizzardo to Mayo. Not a fan of Bizzardo. He was terrible last year, slightly better this year, but still not reliable, not trustworthy. Oh-2 pitch. Low and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Bizzardo to Mayo. And that better be the only home run that Bizzardo gives up. Yeah. You know, honestly, it might be you know, a blessing in disguise, because if, you know, we'll see what happens with George, but if George ends up being slightly injured, not like a serious injury, then we can call up Logan Evans and have him come back to the team, you know? Because obviously George looked better today as Mayo fouls out to first, 1 away. But again, I would feel much more confident having Logan Evans pitch, you know, than George Kirby or Bryce Miller for that matter. But I hope that he's okay. I don't wish injuries on anyone. You know, I can only imagine getting a baseball to the teeth and the mouth area or the nose. That's not, and I'm actually surprised he walked off on his own power. You know, that shows you how tough George really is. Next up for the Orioles, Heston Kjerstad, 1 for 2. First pitch, low and away with the slider, 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch, low and away. 2 balls and no strikes from Bizzardo to Kjerstad. All my friends here are like, Bizzardo, boo. And I'm like, yeah, dude, sucks. 2-0 pitch, low and at the knees. 3 balls and no strikes from Bizzardo to Kjerstad, and we have to make sure we keep it at 3. But we can't let them score anymore, because we don't really know what we're going to get in the 7th, 8th, and 9th. But once their starter goes out, we should be able to start to rake. But the thing is, if our bullpen is just as bad, you know, who knows how many runs they're going to get by the time we get a chance to be able to even up the score. We don't want to be down 5-1, in the 7th inning or 8th inning. We have to keep it like manageable. And even right now, again, we're not averaging 6 runs a game like we were in our 9 consecutive series win streak. We're averaging 1 to 3, and every 4th or 5th game, we're exploding for 5 to 12, but it only happens every 4th or 5th game. So we got to be able to get something going here other than Rowdy. First pitch to Dylan Carlson, takes a strike looking outside of the zone. 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch, low and at the knees from Bizzardo to Carlson. 1 ball and 1 strike in the top of the 6th with a runner at first and 1 out. Orioles with a 3-1 lead. Come on, Bizzardo. But again, don't be surprised if, this year for Kirby is a wash. Just with all the things that have happened with him, and I wish him the best, but we might have to be thinking at some point, once we get to the 100 game mark, that maybe, we'll just have to wait till George in 2026, and this might be just a washed year for him. I mean, especially missing the first 50 plus games. That's not ideally what you want. And Carlson in play. There we go. Grounds out into the double play. I wish we would have had that happen earlier before Bizzardo gave up the homer to Carlson. And now we're down 3-1. So if you're just tuning in, let's do a quick recap of what just happened to the Mariners there. George Kirby took a line drive to the face, exited the game. Then we had to bring in Bizzardo, and he gave up a homer to Cowser. But Urias hit a sac fly when they had bases loaded, 1 out. Rushman scores 1-0 Baltimore in the first, but we could have been down 3-0 in the first inning. Rowdy Tellez in the bottom of the second, homered, solo dinger, solo jack, see ya. 404 feet, 1-1, Mariners and Orioles. Mariner fans were feeling pretty good. Then in the top of the 6th, O'Hearn singled to center, Rushman scored, 2-1 Orioles, and then George got hit in the face, left the game. They brought in Bizzardo, and what does Bizzardo do on one of his first 2 pitches? Gives up a solo dinger to Colin Cowser, homer to left center, 374 feet, and Colton Cowser gives them a 2-run lead. All right, Mariners, we normally dominate in the 7th, 8th, and 9th, but it would really help if we can get something going and get at least like a run in the 6th inning to make it 3-2. Leading off for the Mariners, 1 for 2, shortstop J.P. Crawford. Batting second, DHing Jorge Polanco. I would substitute him out of the game and bring in Dylan Moore. And batting third, 1 for 2, center fielder Julio Rodriguez. Let's go, Mariners. You got to step up. Let's go. And again, if the Mariners keep struggling, getting hits and runs, that also might be a good thing, because then that would mean that Harry Ford will be getting more of an opportunity, just because we need runs and we need hits. And again, he's been doing very well for the Tacoma Rainiers. And, if we're still going to be stuck at 1 to 3 runs, even, bringing up Cole Young, you have to consider bringing up Harry Ford for some firepower. First pitch. Takes the ball high and inside. J.P. Crawford doesn't bite. 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch. Takes a strike looking in the zone with the sinker. 87 miles an hour by Sagano, and we need him to exit the game to start raking. 1 ball and 1 strike from Sagano to Crawford. Come on, J.P. Got to have faith. Trident's up. It's not over till it's over. Plus, the Mariners have gotten themselves in this kind of situation a lot lately, where we end up being down by a run or 2 or tied, and we have to find a way to win in the last 3 innings. 2-1 pitch, in play, and JP singles the left. JP's on a heater lately. Nice job. Nice job, JP. And we need you, JP, to be productive at the top of the order. The more productive JP is, it should rub off on the other players other than Polo, who shouldn't even be playing. Either have him get demoted to the 7 or 8 hole or bench him for Dylan Moore. Facts. First pitch from Sagano to Polo. Takes a strike looking outside of the zone with a curve, 78 miles an hour. Should have been called ball, but called strike. 1-0 count. Come on, Polo. Where was the hitter that was batting 350 to 450 with 10 homers in the first month and a half? That player has disappeared completely. Now in the last 20 games, you're batting 100 like Donovan Solano. Come on, my guy. And there we go. Finally, after all the criticism, Polo finally singles to left. There you go. And that's the JP Crawford effect that I was talking about. JP with a single. Nice job, my boy. And Polo, finally. It wasn't a home run, but we'll take anything out of Polo that's positive. Right in between the third baseman and the shortstop. Nice job. Nice job, Polo. I feel I haven't said nice job, Polo, in like a fucking month. Next up, a guy that can, with one swing, give us a one-run lead. 1 for 2, Julio Rodriguez. First pitch fouled off with the sweeper. 84 miles an hour from Sugano. 0-1 count. And this will be the last inning, more than likely. Tomoyuki Sugano will be on the mound, and that's good for Mariner fans. Sometimes you just got to talk it into existence, you know? First pitch fouled off from Julio. 0-1 count with that sweeper. Sugano on the mound, J-Rod in the box. And we don't even need necessarily a 3-run jack. We could get that from Julio or Cal, depending on if Julio gets on, and then Cal could get a, grand salami, so to speak. But at this point, we'll take anything. Walks, hit by pitch, as long as they don't get hurt. Just be positive out there. And we've dug ourselves into this hole. Now it's our job to climb out. And we have to climb out with our studs, Julio Rodriguez and big dumper Cal Raleigh. It's a blessing to have both of those guys on the team, even though J-Rod traditionally starts slow, in the first 2 months of the season every single year. And Julio on the 0-2 pitch, rare, strikes out looking. And you don't see Julio striking out that often, but it has been happening a little bit more often than not. Let's correct that. 1 away. Next up, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Let's go, Cal. We need a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Trident's up. Let's go, Cal. Bottom of the 6th inning, 3-1 Orioles. Let's go. First pitch to Cal Raleigh. 2 feet off the plate. Splitter, 88 miles an hour, getting away from Sugano, 1-0 count. Come on, big dumper. Bottom of the 6th, runners at first and second, JP and Polo. Let's not waste this opportunity. Come on, Cal. And Cal in play on the 1-0 pitch. Damn it! Grounds out into the double play. Shortstop to first, and that is the end of the inning. Damn it. It's not our day today. Now we got to wait till the 7th inning, and hopefully we'll be able to find 3 hot innings to get back on track. And again, not the ideal situation that we're getting here from Cal and Julio, but again, at least we have 3 innings to make up for it. We're down by 2 runs. Come on now. I still love you, Cal, but unfortunate to hit into the double play there. A couple of double plays for both teams so far. Next up for the Mariners here, next up for the Orioles here in the top of the 7th, leading off 0 for 3 with 2 Ks, second baseman Jackson Holliday. Batting second, 2 for 3 with 2 runs and a K, catcher Adley Rushman. And batting third, 2 for 3, shortstop Gunnar Henderson. Let's go Mariners, not over yet. It's all good. Again, we normally, when we end up coming back, it's in the 7th, 8th, and 9th. Traditionally, we don't get a lot in the 6th. Every once in a while, we'll have a monster 5th or 6th inning, but typically we don't because that's when the starting pitcher, he's still in the game. Unless we roughed him up early enough where we have bullpen guys in the 4th and the 5th and the 6th. So, normally in the first 6 innings, it's going to be a little light unless we hit home runs early and often or get back-to-back hits for like RBI situations early. But again, if starting pitching goes out, then that'll be our opportunity to have the Pizzardo for their team, where we can maybe hit a home run off them and then catch up in the game. And then we got Jackson Kowar in there, no longer Pizzardo. Thank God. He fucking stinks. And we'll see what Kowar does here. First pitch to Jackson Holiday. High and away with a four-seam fastball, 1-0 count. 9 hits for the Orioles. Left on base, 6 for the Orioles. Mariners only 3. But again, only 5 hits for the Mariners, 9 for Baltimore. We need to catch up to those hit numbers. In play, and Holiday flies out to center, 1 away. Here we go. Nice job by Jackson Kowar. Next up, catcher Adley Rushman, 2 for 3, having a good day. First pitch fouled off from Adley Rushman. 0-1 count. Maybe this will give Kowar a little luck. There we go. They actually got a decent photo of him. 1-0 pitch, high and away, 5 feet off the plate with the changeup to Adley Rushman. 1 ball and 1 strike from Kowar to Rushman. Come on, baby. One pitch, fouled off with the four-seam fastball. High and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Adley Rushman. 1-2 pitch. Low and at the knees. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Adley Rushman. Come on, Jackson. Come on, Mariners. Hang tough. These are going to be our 3 best innings that we have traditionally, game in and game out. Two-two pitch. Low and away. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Count now is full. 3-2 pitch. And Rushman grounds out to second. Throw to first. 2 away. There we go. Nice job by Cole Young. JP, I love those guys at second and short. And let's go to potentially the last out here for the Orioles, if we can get it. 2 for 3. Shortstop in the 3-hole, Gunnar Henderson. Jackson Kowar might actually be our, 3rd best guy in the pen. It might be Matt Brash 1, Gabe Spire 2, Jackson Kowar maybe 3. But again, we thought that Legomina had a chance to take that role, but he started to fuck up more times than not. So, and again, Kowar and Matt Brash came off Tommy John. So, we don't really know what we're going to get out of Jackson, but, he's a little wild. But again, we'll see if he can get us out of this inning unscathed. 2-0 pitch. Low and away. 3-0 count from Kowar to Henderson. Don't walk him here. I believe they do, Ernie. I mean, it's not like we're going to come back every single time down 2 runs. But, again, 1 is a little light for the Mariners. We normally are going to be a little bit better than that. But, 4 runs, 7 to 10 hits. 5 runs, 7 to 10 hits is usually the goal every night. But recently, we've only been getting 1 to 3 runs, and it's hard to win that way. And Henderson on that 3-0 pitch and flies out to left, and Kowar gets us out of the inning. Nice job. So a little bit wild, but he doesn't give up a home run like Edward Pizzardo did. And now we get into the best innings for the Seattle Mariners, where we can come back and still win this game. So let's take a look at Sugano's pitch count. He's only at 79. So they're probably going to have him for the 7th inning. So we're going to have to find a way to rough up Sugano, and hopefully he just gets tired. And then in the 8th and the 9th, they'll have, their mid-reliever and, obviously, closer opportunity guys available in the pen. Unfortunate that we haven't been able to rough Sagano up more, so this would be the last time that we see him, but they're going to bring him out again, I assume. He's only had 79 pitches, so. But we have seen guys get substituted for, under 80 before during the regular season. Kind of a manager discretion. All right, next up, 0 for 2 with a K, left fielder Randy Arozarena. Batting second, 1 for 2 with a run and an RBI. The only run for the Mariners, a solo dinger, Rowdy Tellez. And batting third, 0 for 1 with a base on ball, right fielder Rowdy Tellez. Let's go Mariners. Come on now. And if there was a time that we needed this version of Randy to come out, it's fucking right now. Again, he strikes out way too often, either getting struck out looking or striking out swinging. Got to find a way to get Randy on base or to hit a solo dinger to get it to 3-2 to give us that confidence. First pitch, takes a strike looking, four-seam fastball on the line from Sagano, 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch, low and away. Big sweeper, and Randy bites just like Julio did, behind in the count 0-2. Come on, Randy. Randy looks like the Julio Rodriguez, from March and April that just swings at fucking everything. Super over-aggressive. I mean, you got 7 homers and 24 ribbies, but your batting average and your decision-making not very good. Come on, Randy. Very streaky player. Slightly better than Polo, but not by much. 0-2 pitch, low and away, four-seam fastball, tried to get him to bite. 1-2 pitch, big swing and a miss, and Randy strikes out swinging. It's almost a given. When Randy gets up, it's going to be a fucking strikeout more times than not. You just got to hope out of that one time out of 10, he doesn't fucking strike out and gets a home run, but not reliable of a hitter whatsoever. Down goes Randy Arozarena, 1 away. Maybe consider putting Dylan Moore in left field. You probably get better results. Next up, first baseman Rowdy Tellez. First pitch to Rowdy, low and away with the splitter, 1-0 count. And we just need to get Sagano out of the game so that way that we have a chance to, at least kind of catch up. Unless Tellez can homer off him again. Six more likes to 60. Let's get there. 1-0 pitch. Takes a strike looking. 1 ball and 1 strike from Sagano to Tellez. One pitch, low and away, about 4 feet off the plate with that splitter, 87 miles an hour by Sagano. 2 balls and 1 strike from Sagano to Tellez. There we go. We're getting there. 2-1 pitch in play, and Tellez grounds out to first, 2 away. Next up for the Mariners, right fielder 0 for 1 with a base on ball, Rowdy Tellez.
Oh my God.
Come on, Rowdy. First pitch, fouled off, high and inside. Tries to jam the hitter and does. 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch. Takes a strike looking on the line. Behind in the count 0-2. Sagano has been money. And again, when you get these Asian pitchers, either from Japan or another foreign country, it doesn't matter if they're on the Dodgers or not. There's quite a few of them that are sprinkled across the league, and most of them are pretty fucking good. And Sagano definitely has had the Mariners' number here today. 4-3 record, ERA of 3.23. But I think that if Sagano actually got run support on every start, he probably would be 5-2 or 6-1. But the Orioles have had kind of a tough time putting together, consistency, obviously in the batter's box this season. And Tavares strikes out. Damn it. And then hopefully that's the last inning for fucking Sagano. Otherwise, we're in trouble. Let's see where he's at on the pitch count. He's at 90 now. Thank God. So hopefully that's enough, for the Orioles, that they don't need to bring him back. And then we just have to pray that in the 8th and the 9th that their guys are shaky and then we can come back. But, Sagano pitching the 7th inning was kind of, that was the end of us. We needed him to go out in the 6th and his pitch count was too low. And him and Adley Rutschman are pitching and catching a gem together. All right, let's see who's up next here for the Orioles in the top of the 8th, and we cannot let them score any more runs if we want to have any chance in this game. Next up, 2 for 2 with an RBI and a base on ball, first baseman Ryan O'Hearn. Batting second, 0 for 2 with an RBI, third baseman Ramon Urias. And batting third, 1 for 3 with a run RBI, center fielder Colton Cowser, who had the solo dinger to put him up 3-1 when it was 2-1. Come on, Adams. I still believe. Let's go. Gained 5 subs today. Now we're at 57 subs before we get to 20,900, 157 to get to 21,000. Shout out to all the people that have liked, subbed, donated, commented, shared. I appreciate you guys very, very much. Obviously, the numbers keep growing on the channel, and I greatly appreciate it very, very much. 2,600 regular viewers that come here daily to be able to watch here and there. And again, we got United States, Venezuela, Mexico, Dominican Republic, Canada, Philippines, Japan, Colombia, Taiwan, Nicaragua, Australia, New Zealand, and that's just a few of the countries that watch this channel on a regular basis. And even the female viewership has gone up as well, from 5% up to 13%. Appreciate you guys very, very much. Head up, go M's. First pitch to Ryan O'Hearn, fouled off, 0-1 count. And we still got Kolar out there again, pitching for the second inning. Hopefully Jackson can be good here. He might actually be our third best guy in the pen. We'll find out what happens here today. But essentially, Kolar is taking over Legomina as the third best behind Spire and Brash. And he flies out. There we go. Flies out to right to Leody Taveras and Julio Rodriguez in the no-fly zone. Nice job, Julio. 1 away. Down goes O'Hearn. Next up is Ramon Urias. First pitch, takes a strike swinging on a four-seam fastball, 98 miles an hour. From Jackson Kolar, coming off Tommy John like Matt Brash. Crazy to think that 2 out of the top 3 guys in the pen are coming off Tommy John, but no signs of Tommy John lingering on both of those guys. 0-1 pitch. Outside, four-seam fastball, 98 miles an hour. 1 ball and 1 strike from Kolar to Urias. Top of the 8th, we're down by 2. We still have a chance. But again, we got to try to chip away. Try to get 1 run in the 8th and 1 in the 9th. Unless we're blessed enough to get 2 in the 8th or 2 in the 9th, which is possible. But we'll see who steps up for the Mariners. Hard to win games when you only score 1 to 3. You have to get to that magic number of 4. 4 to 5 runs, 7 to 10 hits. Then you have a chance. But if you score 1 to 3 runs and you get under 7 hits, pretty hard to win in MLB in 2025. 2-2 pitch, and that is low and away. Count now is full from Kolar to Urias. 3 balls, 2 strikes, and 1 out. 3-2 pitch. And big swing and a miss. Got him. There we go. Punched him out. 1 away. Nice job by Jackson. I don't see any Tommy John lingering there. Down goes Ramon. 2 away. Strikes out swinging. Next up, center fielder Colton Cowser. Last time that he was up, he hit a solo jack off Edward Bizardo. Can't have that happen again. Top of the 8th, 3-1 Oriole lead. First pitch from Kolar to Cowser. high and away, 1-0 count. Come on, Jackson. And even though he is, kind of wild, he does pitch top end, high speed, 95, 98, 99. And again, he does get himself in a lot of jams and like 3-0 counts and whatnot, but a lot of times he finds a way to get out of it. Hopefully he'll be a little bit better on that as the year goes on, but so far I like what I'm seeing out of Jackson. 1-0 pitch, low and away. 2 balls and no strikes from Kowar to Cowser. 2-0 pitch, low and away with a sinker, 97 miles an hour by Jackson Kowar. 2 balls and 1 strike with nobody on and 2 outs. Orioles hanging on to a 3-1 lead. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. 4 more likes to get to 60. We gained 5 subs today, and we had some good, obviously, effort by some individuals that gained some mod status, like Monkey Kung Fu and Flying Monk. Shout out to those 2 individuals holding it down for the channel. I appreciate you tremendously. 2-2 pitch. Low and at the knees. Count now is full, and this is kind of a regular thing for Jackson, but you just can't fuck it up. We can't afford walks, we can't afford you plunking, and we can't afford you giving up big home runs and RBIs. Come on, Jackson. Top of the 8th with 2 outs, full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes with 2 outs. Come on, Jackson. 3-2 pitch. And Cowser grounds out to second, throw to first. And there it is. And again, so this isn't going to be a guy that's going to mow him down, bang, 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 like when Gabe Spire is on or Andres Munoz is on or when Brash is on, where it's like 3 pitches and the guy's out. It's not going to be like that with Jackson. He's going to have to pitch, 5 to 9 pitches per guy. And sometimes he'll get himself into a jam, 3-0 count, 3-2 count. But more times than not, he's going to get out of it. And a great defensive play there by Cole Young, diving on the ground, throwing to Tellez. And someone better buy Cole Young some dinner. Nice job. All right, here we go. And these are going to be 2 of the top 3 productive innings for the Mariners, the 8th and the 9th. We definitely have not hit up to our standard, but you also have to give credit to the Orioles, right? You have to give credit to this guy right here, Tomoyuki Sagano. 4-3 record, 3.23 ERA. But if you actually look at his stat line, better than Kirby. 7 innings pitched, 5 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 5 Ks, 90 pitches, 58 strikes, 3.04 ERA. So he got his ERA down by quite a bit from 3.23 to 3.04. Another good start from Sagano. He'll be in the high 2s, which is phenomenal. And then for George Kirby, before he left, after getting hit in the mouth and the nose and started bleeding with that line drive, 5 innings pitched, 8 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, 3 Ks, 95 pitches, 64 strikes. And again, George is still nowhere near where he needs to be, but he was much better than where he was in the first 2 games. His ERA was 11.42, an 0-2 record coming in, and now it's 8.56. So he's going in the right direction, going lower, and then but again, still not 100%, and hopefully the bats can come alive here in the bottom of the 8th. We need them. Next up for the Mariners, 0-2. We need you, Cole. It's a Cole world. Second baseman, Cole Young. Come on, Cole. We need you, baby. Batting second, third baseman, Big Ben Williamson. Someone needs to drop a bunt down. Let's get back to basics. And then batting third, back at the top of the order, shortstop, J.P. Crawford. This could be the inning where we get a run. But if we're going to get something here, we definitely need Young and Williamson to get on base. Baker enters the game for the Orioles, and we'll see what Baker does. Baker's got a 2.77 ERA in limited action. So 27 games, 2.77 ERA, 26 innings. His whip is .92. Opponent average only 200, and he's got 11 Ks, to 11.4 for Ks per 9. So this is not going to be easy, but hopefully we can find a way. First pitch, Cole Young takes a strike looking, 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch, fouls it off. Behind in the count, 0-2 from Baker. Come on, Cole. Bring that electricity, baby. 0-2 pitch, and takes a strike looking right down the middle. Down goes Cole Young. 1 away. Brutal. I still love you, Cole. We need to move Cole into the 2-hole. I'm telling you. He'll get the most production if we move him into the 2-hole and move the DH into the 7-hole or the 8-hole. And instead of Ben Williamson hitting, we're going to have Miles Mastrobuoni. I don't know if I agree with that, but we'll see. We'll see if Miles can be that guy. I mean, I guess better than Donovan Solano coming in, or Mitch Garver, for that matter. First pitch to Miles Mastrobuoni, inside at the knees, four-seam fastball by Baker, 1-0 count. And maybe if Miles just doesn't swing, he can get on with a walk. 1-0 pitch, high and away, changeup, 79 miles an hour, 2 balls and no strikes. Don't swing, Miles. Just take the walk.
Oh my God.
Libra in the building. What's good? Baker on the mound, Mastrobuoni in the box, pitch hitting for Ben Williamson, who has cooled off. You know, I still like Ben a lot, but he's not the same type of hitter he was when we first brought him up. You know, he definitely has cooled off, but you could say that about half of the team. You know, Randy, Polo, there's a lot of guys that have fucking cooled off. We need guys to fucking heat up. Can't just win with Julio and Cal. Got to have the role players step up. 2-0 pitch, fouled off. Right down the middle, four-seam fastball. 2 balls and 1 strike from Baker to Mastrobuoni. 2-1 pitch, another foul ball. Four-seam fastball, 96 miles an hour by Baker, bringing the heat to Mastrobuoni. 2 balls, 2 strikes with 1 out and nobody on. Mariners down by 2 in the bottom of the 8th. Come on, and Mariners, try dance out. Let's go. Come on, Miles. In play, and Mastrobuoni singles to center. My boy, there we go. Nice job, Miles. You're not the best hitter, but again, you have been coming up clutch from time to time, right past the second baseman and the shortstop, right in between the gap. Nice job, Miles, to keep the rally alive. And now we got JP Crawford. Anything's possible with JP, right? A walk, a bunt, a single, a double, a triple, and maybe even a home run. Let's go, JP. First pitch from Baker to JP, fouls it off high and away. 0-1 count. Come on, JP. With 1 swing, JP can tie the game up. And I'll tell you, if JP does homer at this at-bat, we will win. Because the momentum will shift, and we'll find a way. Even if that's the only, 2 runs that we get this inning, and we don't get any more, and then we end up hitting into a double play or something for that example, we'll find a way in the 9th, the 10th, or the 11th to get the dub. Even if it's only 4-3 and we win by 1. But again, we'll see if JP can, give us that Uncle Mo and that momentum. 0-1 pitch, low and away with the changeup. 1 ball and 1 strike to JP Crawford. Come on, JP. Get on base or hit that homer. You were stuck at 4 forever, got number 5. Can you get number 6 here? 1-1 pitch, takes a strike looking on the line. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Baker to JP. Come on, JP. Come on, Mariner Moose. We need everything here. Let's go. Let's go, baby. Let's go. JP singles to center. Mastrobuoni to third. Run. Go. Let's go. It wasn't a home run, but he got on base. Here we go. Runners on the corners, first and third. Now you got Polo up. And again, if it was someone else, you'd probably feel a little bit better. And it's not going to be Mitch Garver or Donovan Solano, obviously based on, if the pitcher is a left-handed pitcher or a right-handed pitcher. If it's a righty, they'll keep Polo in, but he can't really hit when it ends up being lefties. If Polo were to come up big here, it could be huge for us. But he's been so cold lately. Come on, Polo. Runners on first and third. I don't even need a home run for you. All I need is an RBI single to get it to 3-2, and we can get another run, in the 9th inning if we need to. First pitch from Baker to Polo, fouled off right down the middle. Change up, 84 miles an hour, 0-1 count. Come on, Polo. Earn your paycheck. Julio on deck. 0-1 pitch, takes a strike looking right down the middle from Baker. Good pitch. Behind the count, 0-2. Come on, baby. If Miles Mastrobuoni and JP can do it, come on, Polo. Where's the hitter that I remember batting 350 to 450 that had 10 home runs in the first month and a half? Where is that player gone? Now you're batting 100 in the last 20 games. You're like Donovan Solano. Come on. 0-2 pitch. On the line, fouled off. Four-seam fastball. 97 by Baker. Wow. Bottom of the 8th, runners on the corners, first and third. Mariners in prime position to at least get a run or possibly tie it up, but we need Polo to come up big here with an RBI single. Best case scenario, he ends up hitting a 3-run blast, but I don't really know how likely that is to happen, but it would be awesome if it happened here. Did get a hit earlier, you're right, and fouled out to third, 2 away. Maybe getting 1 hit a game is all he can do. And next up for the Mariners, 1 for 3 with a K. Bottom of the 8th inning with runners on the corners at first and third with 2 outs. Julio Rodriguez. Let's go, J-Rod. RBI single, RBI double, home run. Trident's up. Mariners win. Come on now, let's go. Mound visit there. They have to break down how they want to pitch to Julio Rodriguez here, or they're going to either pull him. It doesn't look like they're going to pull him, and Baker has been good, so there's no point of pulling him. I mean, he did give up 2 hits, but they feel pretty confident. So we feel confident with our guy too, Julio Rodriguez. And again, with 1 swing, he could win the game. You know, because obviously, if he can get a 3-run jack and we go up 4-3, we have a very good chance of winning this game just based off momentum alone. But again, I don't know if Julio's got that in him here, you know, in the first part of June, but let's see if Julio can show up. And remember, if Julio just gets a base hit and gets it to 3-2, we got Cal Raleigh, who's the most clutch hitter in the 7th inning and beyond on the Mariners. So again, we can find a way to tie this up, you know, if we can get to Cal. Come on, Julio. First pitch, slider, low and away. 1-0 count. Come on, J-Rod. 1-0 pitch, fouls that one off. 1 ball and 1 strike from Baker to Julio. Come on, J-Rod. It's just crazy that we have to, you know, have the Mariners, you know, toy with our emotions. You know, every single day is like chaos baseball. It's never easy for us. I mean, besides that 9 consecutive series win streak, things were easy. We were scoring 6 runs a game minimum. You know, and now we're only getting 1 to 3, and it's like we have to sweat it out to the very end every fucking game. But again, that's just Mariner baseball until they call up Harry Ford and we get Logan Gilbert back. Takes a strike looking in the zone, paints that corner. 96 miles an hour by Baker. 1 ball and 2 strikes with runners on the corners and 2 outs. Come on, Julio. RBI single, RBI double. 3-run jack. See ya. Come on now. Come on, J-Rod. You're so much better than what you were in March and April. Be patient here. One-two pitch. Low and away. Good eye by Julio. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Baker to Julio. Come on, J-Rod. Come on, Julio. Let's go. Bottom of the 8th. Runners on the corners at first and third. Mastrobuoni and JP. And Julio in the box. And down goes Julio Rodriguez. Fuck.
Hey, Dempson.
Oh, brutal. We needed to get to Cal in that inning, and that was, I mean, I don't want to say the game is over, but that was the inning. You know, now it's going to be really tough to be able to get 2 runs in the 9th, and we don't know if we're going to give up anything in the top of the 9th. It's going to take a miracle to come back just to tie it up. Not to say that we can't. You know, we have been able to get 1, 2, 3 runs in the 9th, but to leave guys on base right there, momentum definitely went back to the Orioles. I hope that we can find a way, but that might have been the inning that we would have came back, and in the 9th, it might be over. And then again, we have a game tomorrow with Emerson Hancock, and then the rubber match is Brian Wu. So, with Hancock, I believe that we can get it done. And, with George Kirby, he was much better, than obviously he was in his previous 2 starts. But call Logan Evans back up, bring him into the pen or as a starter. He deserves to be on the team. And then we need to rearrange the batting order because obviously it's not working. What Dan Wilson is doing, I like that they brought up Cole Young, but you got to move Polo. Whoever's the DH needs to move down to the 7 or the 8 hole, period. And then again, instead of Polo, even though he did, have a hit, maybe swap him for Dylan Moore. And again, it all depends if it's a left-handed pitcher or a right-handed pitcher. I get that, but I think Dylan Moore would be more productive at DH than Polo. I just don't got a lot of confidence in him. Or replace Randy Arozarena for Dylan Moore here and there. Randy's not that reliable either. I mean, he has come up big a couple games, but again, he strikes out way too much. Got to figure out a way to readjust the lineup and move it around a little bit. I mean, you don't really need to move around Julio and Cal that much. They're going to be in the 2, 3, 4 hole, but you got to be able to see who you're going to pair them up with. And we still need some firepower at the end of the order. And, we'll see what we can do. All right, let's go to the top of the 9th. And hopefully we don't let them score any more. And then we need a fucking miracle. And we need to score 2, maybe 3 here in the 9th. Next up, 0 for 3, DHing Kobe Mayo. Batting second, right fielder Heston Kjerstad. And batting third, left fielder Dylan Carlson. Let's go Mariners. Four more to 60. 55, 45 to go. I mean, we got the 7 hits part, but 1 run ain't going to get it done. Again, that's why it's always 4 to 5 runs, 7 to 10 hits. And again, the Mariners have only been putting up 1 to 3 runs. And holy hell, Colin Snyder is in. We're not winning. It's over. It's over. Snyder, first pitch, and they get a hit. Yeah, it's over. We're going to have to wait till tomorrow and then try to win with Emerson Hancock tomorrow and then Brian Wu. How is Colin Snyder still on the fucking team? That's not ideally the guy that you want, and instead of keeping it 3-1, there's a good chance it's going to be 4-1, 5-1, 6-1. And if that's the case with Snyder, right, we're not going to score that. We're going to have a hard time getting fucking 1, even if it was Munoz on the mound right now, let alone 2. And now you got Snyder in there. Yeah, we definitely lost this one. Hey, Fury. Goodbye. In play, and there it is. Back-to-back hits. Kjerstad with the RBI, and just like that, Colin Snyder needs to be cut from this team. He doesn't even deserve to be on the Tacoma Rainiers. Cut him. 4-1 Orioles. I mean, as soon as I saw who it was, I was like, oh, it's over. This is like the worst player on the team. Donovan Solano, terrible, right? Trent Thornton giving up all those home runs early, 5 home runs in the first 20 games. Horrible. Colin Snyder, horrible. Legomina, horrible. How the hell is this guy still on the team? First pitch to Carlson, fouled off. 0-1 count. But I think we'll have a good chance winning tomorrow and winning with Brian Wu on the rubber match in the afternoon. So, again, and we have to score 4 runs or more tomorrow. Again, we can't, put up 1 run. Again, not ideal. So not only did the pitching lose this for us, the bats did not come alive. We need to readjust the batting order. Move Cole Young into the 2 hole, move the DH into the 7 hole. Mariners, listen. Telling you, that could be the thing that, turns this team around. JP, Cole Young, Julio Rodriguez, Cal Raleigh. And then maybe even moving Randy from the 5 and sliding him down. You got to be able to tweak it. You can't just keep it the same, same order over and over and over and think that it's going to turn around. 0-1 pitch, low and at the knees with the sweeper, 1 ball and 1 strike to Dylan Carlson. 1-1 pitch and flies out to center. Adams tags up and goes to third. Nice job, Julio. 1 away. Down goes Dylan. Next up, second baseman Jackson Holliday. But if Trent Thornton, he got injured, and then Legomina got sent down, why did Colin Snyder not get sent down also? You can send a guy down and bring up Logan Evans. Have him pitch in the pen. If you have him pitch in the pen, that helps us win. Colin Snyder's fucking terrible. I mean, anyone that gives up 6 or 7 runs, like Snyder and Legumina in the 10th inning where we lost back-to-back games, I've never seen the Mariners collapse that bad where we gave up 13 fucking runs in the 10th inning in 2 games. Just that stat alone deserves those guys to be cut or sent down, period. 1-0 pitch. And there's another single. Holiday single to center after being fucking 0 for 4. And maybe this will be the reason that they finally sent his ass down. Terrible. 5-1 Orioles. Brutal. I mean, all I needed to see, the same thing was going to happen more than likely with Bizzardo if he came in late instead of early in the game, right? But even Bizzardo is better than what you get from Colin Snyder. Terrible. First pitch to Adley Rutschman, low and at the knees, 1-0 count. And if the Mariners would have put up 3 or 4 runs, Snyder wouldn't have been in the game. Like, instead of having Snyder come in the game, why not use like Gabe Spire or Matt Brash? And the reason is you're going to save them for games 2 and 3. But I don't like them waving the white flag and just saying, fuck it, when we're down 2 runs. You end up having a solid guy come out there, and it ends up being 3-1. You never know. In the bottom of the 9th, we can get 1 or 2 runs, and maybe some magic could happen. Now, realistically, we were going to lose the game, probably 3-1. But now bringing in Colin Snyder, who knows what the fucking score is going to be. And now we for sure lost. There's no way we're coming back from 5-1. As soon as you see Colin Snyder being Colin Snyder, the batters and the team doesn't even care anymore. Like, oh, we lost. We're just gonna wait for what's for dinner. And figure out what's gonna happen for tomorrow. But I hope they make some changes in the batting order tomorrow. But I do have faith in Emerson Hancock on the mound. More faith than George Kirby or Bryce Miller at this moment. But what a terrible decision. And hopefully after this, I want to see Colin Snyder get deactivated tonight, tomorrow morning. He needs to get sent down to AAA, period. Or cut. Pitch fouled off on that slurve ball. And I don't care if you try to do a curve slider combo, Snyder. You stink. 2 balls and 2 strikes with a runner at first and 1 out. 5-1 Orioles. Brutal. He's terrible, man. I didn't like Trent Thornton at the beginning of the year. And again, it's not like Snyder gives up home runs, but he gives up, RBIs left and right. Brutal. Two-two pitch, fouled off. 2 balls and 2 strikes with a runner at first and 1 out. 5-1 Orioles. Up is in here. You can't even bear to watch the collapse of the Colin Snyder situation. Two-two pitch. 4-seam fastball fouled off. Oh, there she is. She's hungry. All right, I'm going to go get a little bit of food for her real quick. It's not like the Mariners are coming back. Hopefully the score isn't 7-1 when I come back in 1 minute. All right, I'm back. Got my pup some food. Looks like Adley Rutschman is still up. Holy cow. 11th pitch at the at-bat. Count still full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. I figured Colin Snyder would have given up something by the time I got back. But he already screwed us over coming in. Yeah, I mean, like I said, George Kirby, obviously didn't do that great. The relievers were bad. And again, when you only score one, hard to be able to win a game, let alone bringing in Colin Snyder at the end. So, but I do have confidence that we can win games 2 and games 3. Again, we got Emerson Hancock on the mound tomorrow. And if this was Emerson at the beginning of the year, we'd be fucked. But Emerson's been pretty good lately. And there's another hit. Rushman singled to center. And now you got runners on the corners at first and third with Gunnar Henderson. And then we got Brian Wu on the rubber match. So I still think we can win the series. But I hope that, after this, that Colin Snyder is deactivated or, whatever, sent down to AAA, or cut, whatever. But he doesn't deserve to be on this team. Yeah, a very rare big dumper with no hits. Also, we have to give credit to Sagano, the pitcher. He pitched very, very well. And again, we weren't able to really get into any kind of rhythm. Hit into a couple double plays, left some guys stranded in key moments. And that's baseball. Again, it's not an easy sport to play. And it is about rhythm. And you got to be able to have the good mojo going. And when things are rolling, you know it. But when things kind of hit a wall, you have to make adjustments. And again, having, Polo at that 2-hole and the DH, they need to move that around. They need to be able to move around the batting order a little bit. And I think things will get slightly better moving forward. But, give the O's credit today, But again, this is definitely a game that, we should have been playing a little bit better. But putting Colin Snyder there at the end, not ideal. 0-1 pitch, fouled off by Gunnar, behind in the count now 0-2. We need a double play right up the middle, but it doesn't really matter. We're down 4. It's not like we're going to get 4 runs in the ninth. I mean, if we were to get 4 runs, it'd be a fucking miracle. But I don't really feel that this would be the game that we do that. My phone is blowing up about Snyder and his booty cheeks, which I could have already said. And that's the sad thing when you know that the pitcher is bad. Is like, I didn't even need to see him pitch. Like, as soon as I saw him on the mound, we lost. Again, I'm going to be, probably more positive, than anybody, but I'm also real. I'm not going to act like, that we have a chance when you got like literally one of the worst players on the team coming out there. And there we go. We get out of this inning finally, but not unscathed. And we got a double play that I asked for. There it is. But again, the damage was done. And let's see who we have up here. And I know Cal doesn't have a hit yet, but he does have a chance to get one before the game ends. We needed him to be up in the 8th inning, and we could have tied it, maybe 3-3. But if Colin Snyder was out there at 3-3, we wouldn't have won. But the thing is, if we would have tied it with Cal in the 8-3, they wouldn't have put Colin Snyder out there. And they would have put Munoz or Brash or someone, Swire. It would have been someone else. So they just pretty much threw the white flag after we didn't score in the 8th. Next up, 0-for-3 with a K, catcher Cal Walla. Let's go, Big Dumper. Let's make it a 1-for-4 day. I believe in you. Batting second, 0-for-3 with 2 Ks. The guy fucking strikes out more than anyone that I know. Andy Arozarena. And batting third, 1-for-3 with a run and RBI, first baseman Rowdy Tellez. I miss Luke Raley and I miss Victor Robles. Bad. We need those guys back. Imagine if we had Victor Robles, on the team. How much better the team would be with the vibes and the hitting and the defense. Not to say that Rowdy Tellez sucks, but he ain't fucking Victor Robles. He's a poor man's Victor. And even Luke Raley is streaky, but again, no Demo in the game. Luke Raley still injured, Robles injured. We need to call up Harry Ford. Things need to change. If you're going to take a step backwards to go 10 steps forward, we need to adjust. And hopefully they send somebody down like Snyder and they call up Harry Ford tomorrow morning. I know that probably won't happen, but we need to figure it out. No, I don't agree with that, Jaden. Dan Wilson is a good manager. Dan could end up being the manager of the American League. Dan's not the one swinging the bat out there. He's not throwing the pitches. Snyder needs to be cut, but Dan Wilson is a good manager overall. Does he make some suspect decisions from time to time? Does he pull a guy sometimes too early or too late? Yeah, every manager does. But again, if the pitching gets better and the bats start to heat up, we'll be fine. We're still going to win the division and we're still going to make the playoffs. So And that's obviously, if you think Dan needs to be fired, you're obviously not a regular watcher of the Seattle Mariners. Dan is much better than Scott Service. I'll tell you that right now. And there's been times where Dan has done dumb things, but again, everything is strategic. All right, big dumper, let's go. 260 average, 23 home runs, 45 ribbies, bottom of the ninth, 5-1 O's. First pitch in play. And Cal goes to first, and he's safe. Throwing error there by Jackson Holiday. Nice job, Cal. Told you Cal would get something. It wasn't pretty, but he found a way. Cal at first, now safe. Too bad the game is at 3-1 right now, rather than 5-1. Next up, left fielder Randy Arozarena. And it's going to be really hilarious if Randy goes yard here, and then it ends up being 5-3. That could have been what we needed, but again. Come on, baby. They're reviewing it, but Cal should be safe. Yeah, well, it's playing down to the competition, remember? We play down to the competition, and then we play up to the competition. And when we play really good teams, that brings out the best in the Mariners. But for whatever reason, when we play teams that have bad records like the Orioles, the Guardians, the White Sox, we play down to them. And then if they punch you in the mouth early and often, sometimes we don't come back, and that's just the reality. All right, they're doing the manager's challenge. It looks like the foot went off the bag, but they reviewed it and said that Cal was out. They said his foot was still on the bag. Kind of close. His foot went off of it, but all right, one away. I guess Cal doesn't get a hit. Brutal. The rich get richer, the poor get poorer, huh? Next up is Randy Arozarena, and it's either one of two things. He'll either go yard, right, or he'll strike out. More than likely, he'll strike out. So. Bottom of the ninth, Bautista on the mound, Randy Arozarena in the box. First pitch takes a strike looking, 0-1 count. Nobody strikes out more than Randy Arozarena on this team lately. 0-1 pitch, fouls it off, low and away, behind the count 0-2, and I would assume a strikeout will happen in the next two pitches. Pitch is low and away, splitter, 1 ball and 2 strikes from Bautista to Randy Arozarena. Yeah. But even if Snyder didn't come in the game, we still would be down 3-1, right? And again, at this point in the game, we needed to tie the game up 3-3 or at least 3-2 in the 8th, and we dropped the ball. That was the inning that we needed to get it done. Hard to be able to come back and score a run or two in the 9th, when you're down. It's not easy, especially when you have runners at first and third with an out or two. You always have to take advantage of those moments in the 8th because they may not come in the 9th. 2-2 pitch. High and away. Can't believe Randy actually got to 5 pitches. Count now is full. 3 balls, 2 strikes with nobody on and 1 out. Come on, Randy. Not ideally the way that we wanted to start this series out, but again, Hancock on the mound tomorrow. I have confidence in him. And then we got Wu, obviously, on Thursday in the rubber match. So if we win with Hancock, we can win with Wu, for sure. And the bats need to come alive. And Randy lines out to center, 2 away. All right, we're down to potentially our last batter here. (5-1) Orioles here in the bottom of the 9th. 1 for 3 with a run and an RBI. The only guy to really do anything for us today, at least run-wise, Rowdy Tellez. Jacob, that's a dumb question. You already know that. I've already said for months now that the Thunder were going to win it all, and the Thunder are going to win it all. There is no chance for the Pacers. 0% chance. There would have been 0% chance for the Pacers, 0% chance for the Knicks. The only team that had a chance to win a couple games is the Celtics. That would have been the only team that could have, made it fun to watch. But again, Thunder, Pacers, that's not sexy. The ratings are going to be terrible. The Thunder are going to have a chance to win in 5. More than likely, they'll win in 6. But they're good enough to sweep. But again, they won't. They will win in 5 or 6. No way that series goes to 7 unless injuries happen to the Thunder. 0-1 pitch, takes a strike looking. Behind in the count 0-2 from Batista to Tellez. 0-2 pitch, and Tellez strikes out swinging. Brutal game. Hopefully Colin Snyder will get cut. But Dan Wilson deserves to lose his job, as Jaden thinks. Obviously, we'll be just fine. Emerson Hancock on the mound tomorrow, and then Brian Wu. Shout out to all the people that liked, subbed, donated, commented, shared. Captain always doing a great job, holding down the lead mod status, filling in and helping out with the likes and the subs and the donos. Shout out to Monkey Kung Fu, dropping the donos down and becoming a mod. Same thing actually goes for Flying Monk, obviously helping us out with the likes and with the donos on the dono chain. And on top of that, being able to get a mod status as well. Final score, Baltimore Orioles 5, Seattle Mariners 1. Tough loss, but we will bounce back, obviously, tomorrow. And again, Emerson Hancock on the mound. And again, things will be a little bit better. Appreciate all the people that like, sub, donated, commented, shared. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. And I appreciate all of y'all for coming through and showing the love. Shout out to all the new subs and all the people that have been watching all across the globe. Final score, Baltimore Orioles 5, Seattle Mariners 1. And I got one question for you. We know talk sports like us. Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, and I'm out. Gang.